John?
Present.
Robin? Here. Lee?
Present.
Item 3, Nebraska Open, you don't have to yell.
Oh.
Just kidding. Item 3, Nebraska Open Meetings Act. A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is posted in the back of the courtroom by the entrance. Consent agenda items.
Move to approve the consent agenda.
So second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda items. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
John?
Yes.
Robin?
Yes.
Lee?
Yes.
Item 5, items of business before the board, tax list correction. Casey.
This, unfortunately, is the same one we had last year for the game and parks. There's 2 places it has to be coded exempt, and apparently I only did 1. It is fixed now, as long as it sticks, but it's, most of the game and parks properties are, valued, but this one, since it's connected to the center in Scottsville County, it's supposed to be exempt.
Exempt from what?
It's not supposed to have any value with taxes.
So do they pay taxes on any of their ground?
Yeah. This is the one they don't.
It's the one that has the most value. It's got houses and
Let's say sections of land, so pretty valuable.
do they have to come ever ask, or is it just automatic?
No.
from the state?
Yeah, and I checked about it the first year I was in office. And they don't have to do like theft or anything. It's how it's classified on the website. Let me see. Game and parks used for public purpose would be exempt. And then it just kind of explains the rest of it. Found this list. And it always has been.
Yeah,
Just 2 years that I didn't say it.
wait till it starts in buying land in Banner County. It comes in and says, hey, you know what? I want that exempt.
And there's classifications that they have to meet. I just need Robin to sign.
I need a motion.
Move to approve the tax list correction for property, number, is preferred, or property. You want the property ID? 04009378-RE.
I would second.
It's been moved and seconded to accept the tax list correction, property ID number 04009378. Any further discussion? It's for the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission. Any further discussion?
No.
Roll call vote, please.
John?
Yes.
Robin?
Yes.
Lee?
Yes.
Do you want me just to sign this one? Tracy?
Yes, please. I'll just make a copy, I guess. Do you guys want this?
Are they in the file too? So,
No, that was my fault. Okay, good.
just
I probably should have had in the motion authorizing me to sign, but we're all good, aren't we?
Yes.
Thanks, Casey.
Yep.
Set reorganization meeting date. At 9?
In the morning. I know the answer.
Really don't. Leif was paid for it. That's where you guys said it. That's what I roll with. It's not gonna be pretty. We don't need to vote on that, do we, Mark? Can we just set the date, or do we have to vote on that one?
Make a motion to vote, doesn't have to be a roll call vote necessarily, but
Make a motion to set the reorganization meeting date at January 8th.
And we'll second that motion.
8:30 a.m.
8:30 a.m.
Or you want 5:30?
I think 8:30 is fine. I don't see any reason to change what's working.
It's been moved and seconded to set the Banner County Board of Equalization reorganizational meeting date to January 8th, 2026 at 8:30 a.m. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
John?
Yes.
Robin?
Yes.
Lee?
Yes.
Item 6, public comments. Barron County Board of Equalization will receive public comments on items discussed at this meeting or suggestions for items of discussion at a future Banner County Board of Equalization meeting. The board will not act and or respond to comments presented on the state. You will have 3 minutes after stating your name and address for the public record. Do we have any public comments? Casey's it.
I gave it a moment.
Are you guys good to adjourn?
Yes,
Or you want to hang out a while?
Let's adjourn.
Banner County Board of Equalization adjourns 8:38. Who's that going to Yeah, you are, Donna is, and I know. Anybody in the courthouse going to Carden, Katie? No? We're at the Holiday Inn, right? Yep.
Hello. Hello. It is. I'm actually. Over 65.
I don't have to do that. That's happening. You. I saw him my rancher, something like this is.
Happened to the desk.
Y'all look different this morning.
Can't see people. Put in.
still. I know it's rare. This year, graduates and stuff. So, the other line of work, that's side during that. Understood. I'm swimming.
Done? I guess we're doing.
I'm ready.
Call to order the Banner County Board of Commissioners, Monday, December, should be 16,
Tuesday.
8:45. What's that?
Tuesday.
Oh, yeah, huh? Oh, that's, what am I doing? Remember, that's the planning commission, we're gonna run. Let me get on the right agenda. Banner County Board of Commissioners, Tuesday, December 16 at 8:45 a.m. Roll call, please. John?
Present.
Robin? Here. Lee?
Present.
Item 3, Nebraska Open Meetings Act. A copy of the Nebraska Open Meetings Act is posted in the back of the courtroom by the entrance. Would one of you lead us in prayer, please?
Father, we just thank you again for this opportunity to do the business of the people of Banner County. Lord, find us faithful and knowledgeable in our duties. Lord, we ask for safe travels for all those that are going to be attending NACO this week. And I want to make an opportunity. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. And pledge of allegiance. Remember, Don. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the agenda. Any further discussion? Guys good with the order and all that?
I am.
Roll call vote, please. Don?
Yes.
Robin? Yes. Lee?
Yes.
Item 7, approval of the minutes of December 2nd.
Move to approve the minutes of the December 2nd, 2025.
Second.
Been moved and seconded to approve the minutes of the December 2nd, 2025 meeting. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please. Don?
Yes.
Robin? No. Lee?
Yes.
Item 8, correspondence, storm damage claim checks from NERMA. Got a copy of those in here. squared away on these, Katie, with their nine?
I got, this is what I've received as of yesterday. I think this should be coming to an end now. The ones that were for the courthouse went into the, general fund, and the ones that went in, for the road repairs went into the road fund. So that's how the checks, when we're paying the different vendors, how we're doing, how I'm paying out the claims. So,
So we pay the road out of the road even though it's buildings and grounds, or is it buildings and grounds? It's not different.
I think that the amount of
we did, I paid it out of the road budget under building repair. Because what was for the building there was $480, and what we got for that repair was $480. So it should have washed out.
Perfect.
Sure.
Thank you. Do you guys have any questions? Thank you, Katie. Discontinued production shortage, pennies. They quit making pennies, right?
Yeah, and I'm not sure, I got this email, and I'm not really sure if we're supposed to do something as a county to let people, I don't know. I don't know what this is all about. I read it like 3 times.
I read through it, and it's my understanding is we can't decide unilaterally to round up or down. We have to do exact change. And paying cash, which occasionally people do, not very often. What I would do is get $20 worth of pennies in malls and use them as you need them. But if we need to do this, we can do it.
Do we need to just put this public notice out to the public that to make change, we don't have pennies? That makes sense.
Well, the email I got, they told us one of the recommendations was to ask that they make exact change when they come in, that, so that was about the biggest thing that they have come up with as a suggestion on the treasurer's side. And so that's a good idea, but I don't know if we can get rolls of pennies right now, because the bank over here was asking for pennies. So I don't know, we can check into it.
Do we want to put this notice out like on the website or something, just so it's out there, and if you can make change, you can, if you can't, you can't?
Yeah, if you
And
can
then
do
they
that,
know.
Robin, that would be so awesome if you put that on the website. That's a great idea.
What's that gonna do to your accounting when you're off 3 cents on the?
I might be digging around my wallet. I don't know. Well, for 3 cents. I don't know.
I don't think pennies are gonna disappear like tomorrow, but I bet in a year they'll become.
Yeah.
Where you can't get them.
Yeah, we're gonna okay for a while.
But I'm sure people are hoarding right now.
Yes.
Round up, round down.
Yeah.
Create a convention.
Alright, I'll put that on the website. You guys have any more on that?
No, thank you.
Item 9, public comments, Banner County Board.
Was that
Did this bank over here not have pennies?
They asked for pennies. They asked,
Everybody is right now.
yeah, so I don't know if they have pennies, they were just asking for them. That's all I know, yeah.
Oh, we got $100 for it.
Can we buy those? From
Can we buy
somebody?
20?
Yeah.
We buy
I
some.
have a container of them.
We'll switch out some of our pens or something, pen or something.
I used to work through them because of my time,
Yeah.
that we had one of those shooters in there.
Just 5 gallon
I'm
water.
more
thing.
keg business over here.
Half full.
Something.
Yeah.
Just had
What, just,
$2 worth of pennies for the last 2 years.
Item 9, public comments. Banner County Board of Commissioners will receive public comments on items discussed at this meeting or suggestions for items of discussion at a future Banner County Board of Commissioners meeting. The board will not act and or respond on comments presented on the state. Please keep comments limited to 3 minutes. Do we have any public comments? We just opened public comments. If you guys have any public comments.
They just opened public comment.
We just opened public comments. If you want to come up and speak.
Okay.
If you want to do it first.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Do we have to stand up here?
Yes, please.
Oh, this
We're
is
live
fun.
streaming, so everybody can hear you.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure you guys heard about the incident the other night at the ranch.
Would you state your name, please?
Valerie Elson.
Thank you.
Anyway, my question is, if we pay a sheriff and if we pay a deputy, why don't we have coverage?
I guess I'm not familiar enough with the situation to know what's.
We don't know what happened.
Okay, so the other night, Friday night, we had a gentleman banging on our door about 11:30. Not sure what time it was, but there is a 911 call, so you can find that out. But anyway, my husband called the sheriff and he said we'd have to call the state patrol, which we did. Of course, it takes them a while to get out there. So why did we have to call the state patrol? Why don't we have coverage if we pay a sheriff and a deputy? Because, and I'm sure you guys can get the 911 call, I was having a lot of issue. I kept telling them, turn on the spur, just go 1 mile, take a left. She's like, ma'am, there's not a road there. I said, there is a road there, I promise you. But if it would have been our sheriff or a deputy, I'm sure they would have been able to respond quicker. And not to mention, why did it take our fire chief to want to do some investigation? Because they found the pickup at the bottom of one of our cliffs yesterday. So he had to have went west off Highway 71, and there's a gate there. He didn't use that one. He went further around and used another gate. This can't be the first time this has happened. And he went down a 310-foot cliff. Thank goodness he survived, but supposedly he was out in our hills for 4 hours walking, and he was froze by the time he got there.
So he rolled his pickup and then was walking and then ended up.
He
at your
drove
house.
straight off the cliff, 310 feet to the bottom. And if Tim and Alan would not have searched yesterday thinking, this story is not adding up. Trust me, it is in a place, I have pictures, it's in a place. I think it would have taken us, I mean, he could have laid out there for a couple of years, seriously. It's down in a canyon, unless our boys would have been out hunting. I mean, we wouldn't have found it.
This board really doesn't have jurisdiction over that. The sheriff's office is his own official. So if you want to take that up with Sheriff Hopkins or, yeah. And then the fire department, that's kind of Tim's deal, like, I don't know.
I wasn't aware of any of this, so.
Yes. And also, so when I called 911, after they told my husband we'd have to go through the state patrol, I said, there's a guy sitting in my living room, or in my kitchen. Does he have a weapon? I'm like, I do not know, but I hope not, because he's sitting in my kitchen. And they took so long to get there. You know, I mean, it had to have been 20 minutes at least. But like I said, we need to do something, because there's no reason to pay two authorities if they're not going to respond. And 911 told me when I called them, they said, ma'am, please don't hang up. We've been searching for this guy for hours. Did our sheriff know that? You would assume that they would contact our authorities here. But she said, don't hang up. And then, of course, when she told me that we've been searching for this guy for hours, don't hang up, don't hang up. I was like, holy crap, what did this guy do? He's sitting in my kitchen. And again, we were just told to call the state patrol. So. What's the point? Does you want to say anything else?
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Valerie.
Thank you, Valerie.
Appreciate it. Do we have any more public comments? Item 10, reports, Highway Department, Eric.
Yes.
Good, how are you?
Good. Just a few small reports. We have a new hire, full-time hire that's coming in, on the 29th. But because he's still working, so I'm not going to divulge his name. That's all right. That's, you should, let him do that. Perfect. So we have another, and then we also have another applicant for full-time. I will call him today. We can talk to him, so it's kind of exciting to get to meet you guys. So, qualified heads. I do want to make a statement that I made in the public comments, last week, about Tim. Whatever direction that would go, between the two counties, I want to make sure that you guys, that I feel confident Tim can handle whatever whatever has been decided, okay?
That's for the lead, right?
Mhm. Because you asked me, and I was unsure, but I just want to let you know, whatever Tim decides or whatever is decided, that Tim can handle whatever. Gonna be moving forward, okay? So I just want to clear myself up for that, because I felt like I didn't give Tim the benefit of the doubt of handling something else. We're looking for another belly dump to increase our productivity here. And the other thing is we are 3/4 of the way done with Paula Brown's, driveway entrances. We extended them a little bit so she can get in and out. She's talked quite a few times about that, so we're pretty close to that. After that, and do, other than just doing general maintenance, we're painting culverts. We've been doing that for a little bit, so, I'm trying to get ahead of that. And we're trying to get a program to find out which ones are the worst ones that we need to replace. So we're gonna have some new replacements after winter. Likely, unless it stays nice, then we're gonna get after it a little bit. So, the new permits work pretty nice. We already had 2 permits laying and then, another gentleman putting some water, fixing the line across the road, so, those are working pretty, I like the new verbiage on everything, it kind of protects us. Not kind of, it does protect us. It's just a little bit more streamlined. Do you guys have anything else for me? I do not. Good.
Thank you, Eric. Weed Department, Tim.
Well, apparently there's an elephant in the room I need to address. Since I was the subject of conversation last month, or last meeting. I have been in discussion with Kimball County about assisting with their weed department. Their weed superintendent has retired. They are needing a weed superintendent. And I think I found a solution where I don't have to be involved. So I pretty much turned it down and offered another guy that hopefully they can be satisfied with what they get. So that's where we're at. So it's, aside from rumors, if there are rumors, there should be nothing to be concerned about. And it should not affect us. I have 6 year-end reports that need the chairman's signature. If you can get that for me so I can get them submitted. I would say.
Are we good to do this in the reports? Mark?
No.
You're not really approving the report you're okay.
Right.
So.
Okay.
If not, we're not out of time yet. I got them submitted by the end of January, so. And once they go to the state will review them, analyze them, grade them, and then I'll come back probably in February, March, and give another report about those reports, so.
I'm good to sign these.
There's only 5 of them to sign. If you count.
So you said you get graded on it.
Yeah, the state will grade.
You get like A's and B's or C's.
I can't remember if that's a 1,000-point scale. I have not got 100% yet on anything.
They design it, so no.
Yeah, it is kind of nice on that. And did I make a presentation about the NDA office inspection like a month ago? If not, I need to bring that over, but the state comes out and inspects my office and my work,
I recall something.
I think so, yeah.
and they grade that too.
Okay.
And I have not got 100% until this year, so
I recall.
it is nice to have the state looking over us like that.
Sure.
At least in the way department did it. But that is all I have unless there's any other questions.
Thank you for
Thank you, Timmy.
addressing Kimball one, and thanks for the reports. I think I got them all fine, Tim, if you want to pack them for him and make sure I didn't miss one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Guys good with Tim? Good with Tim?
Yes.
Sheriff Hopkins.
No report.
County Attorney Mark.
I know they have a lot to report. There's been some addition, an uptick, a slight uptick in some criminal activity. And I've spent a fair amount of time working on the cattle guard, auto guard policy. I don't have anything prepared to share with the board today. Because it's turning into something that's probably a little bit more in depth than I anticipated as far as being able to get cleaned up and have it be what we want it to be. So I'm working on it, but I don't have that yet.
Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
Sorry, Tim.
You're forgotten.
Thank you. Sorry about that. Treasurer Kathy. And our balance fund report here.
I should have your fund balance reports in your.
I seen those.
And there's not a lot right now to talk about. We're starting our 2025 tax collections. Been seeing some activity there, been working on the delinquent collections to collect off of the delinquent list and still trying to whittle that down. We've only got a couple personal properties that are hanging out there. I think that those are gonna be cleared up right away. One we won't be able to is a bankruptcy, so. But one is, the other one I'm sure will be there to get that one taken care of. So otherwise, the tax collection part is just starting to pick up and otherwise it's been kind of quiet. And November has been a quiet. Coming into December, starting to pick up, feels kind of good. Seeing a lot more registrations, stuff, so. Unless you have any questions, man, we don't have a lot to bring today, so.
Do you balance to the clerk on this from your fund balance to,
Yes,
I know Katie gave us a report, I just can't find it right off. But you two balance.
that should be all the information.
I like these explanations
Yeah,
of,
that's Ashley doing that. She gets all the credit for that. So.
that's really good. I appreciate that.
Yes, she's doing great. If there's anything else you could think of, I know there was something probably that I should have, but I'll get it next time if I consider it, so, thank you guys.
Our
Thank you.
130,000, Kathy, that was that transfer we did. for
Yes,
the-
that was for that resolution we had for, for the road department to pay back the inheritance. So that is completely done now.
Just making sure I'm saying what you're
That was, yeah.
perfect. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome.
Guys good with Kathy?
Mhm.
Clerk,
You're
Katie.
Um, so we're balanced. Treasurer, right now, we are, all elections are starting to get geared up for next year, and, Ashley and I are, working on the IRS lost some of our forms from 2022. So we are working on getting all that cleared up. And, Kevin from Dana Cole is helping us get like the verbiage and everything. Because we have to refill out forms and send in a letter. It's a real process, but we've been going through all the books from 2022, trying to recreate these forms. I don't know if we'll see anything out of it. It looks like all payments were made in 2022. It's just that the forms are missing. IRS says we never sent them. We have no proof. Kevin at Dana Cole says he has around 100 clients that have got the same letter and are working on the same thing. So he believes the IRS lost the forms. So that's why he is helping us out on this. Other than that, it's pretty much all that's going right now.
Guys good with Katie?
Good.
Good.
Thanks, Katie. Assessor, Casey.
I have nothing to report.
Surveyor, Carl. See him. Commissioner reports, Dawn.
Basically, we didn't have any meetings this month, so I think all I need to talk about would be under the last item of the agenda, MOU.
How'd that meeting go last night at the school?
Well, Megan and I had a good conversation.
Who's Megan?
She's the gal from Penn Public Health. This was outreach meetings.
Did you have a lot of people?
Really?
Really?
Yeah. People are busy, I understand that.
Yeah, 'tis the season.
They don't get a lot of people in to these meetings, I mean, there were a dozen or so at each point. So,
You good with Dawn? I have nothing to report. I'm like Dawn on the agenda later. I know Dawn, Leif, and I are all three going to NACO, I believe today. For the NACO conference. I don't know who else are you guys going?
No.
No. Eric's going, Zane.
thanks, Tom.
Yep. Anyway, that's about all I have. Leif?
No meetings with aging office or behavioral health this month. I think that's all the report will put in for now.
Yep.
Good. Item 11, items of business before the board, the personnel policy.
I have a copy for you guys if you need one. I didn't know if you guys needed one because you received them in the past.
Are they new and different than the one we got in this?
If you open it, what's the revised date? Or adopted?
Adopted November 21, 2023?
Oh, yeah.
No,
I'll just go
that's
get
the
my
right
tape.
one. Casey,
Is
that's
this the right one?
Yep,
Oh, sorry.
because it's effective January 3rd.
Yeah.
Not the one this year.
Huh?
You might have it, I just grabbed the wrong
I
one.
thought we might have done one this year for the effective date.
That's the only one I have. Okay. January 3rd, 2024 is the effective date.
And this is the same as one I have.
Okay.
So there's no changes between here and here?
Okay.
I don't think so.
Yeah, if it's the same one I have here, I haven't seen it in the copy, do I? It's the same, right?
This should be this.
So, which parts of this did you want to talk about, Lynn?
Well,
Sorry, that would be my fault too, because we did 1.5.
Oh, because Katie's copy would be the same as mine.
Yes, and we have, but that's my fault, Katie's,
okay, so that's the revised draft. And-
yeah.
Okay.
And this one's the revised one.
Yeah, because it's this.
Can we get a copy of this?
Yeah.
Or this, or whatever?
So to save the county that kind of money, let's just
That's the
replace the
front.
pages that they change instead of.
Okay, you done through?
Yeah, and just, like at the bottom, it says, should say revised.
Yeah.
And just tag those pages down here, revised, blah, blah, date. And just change out the page, yeah.
I don't have any convention to do this with, but it's always handy to know on the page you revised, that it was revised and approved on that date. So that we know that's changed in case somebody looks at their old one and says, well, that's not what it says. Because I've had that happen, right?
Right. You want to take care of that, Lee?
I can.
Casey left her, I mentioned it to her. Which points did you want to talk about in here?
Well, let's see, we were gonna go over credit card. That was something that we had discussed as a board. Do we want to continue down that road? Are we
What page?
okay with it?
I think we need to talk about it and get it lined out before January.
Okay.
Page.
Is the credit card policy in here?
It should be. I can't tell you exactly where.
First page of the appendices.
What?
First page of the appendices.
So in your absence, when we change a policy, we can just replace that single page rather than print them all new.
That's my hope.
Yeah.
That's how I thought I had it formatted.
And always, it's always good to note that you revise that and the date you revised it on the bottom of the page.
Okay, so far we haven't, done just a single page, so.
Well, it just, there get to be multiple copies out there over the years and.
I tried to
the
get
system
everybody
was
back
definitely-
shredded, but.
You don't have the page number.
It's actually called policies, procedures, and job descriptions.
So- One thing that we don't really have defined is how we would use the credit card in the advent that we are picking up something for trainings and or and when I'm referring to something, I'm saying a type of food or drink, if we are sponsoring training or if we are having a training for our employees. It has caused an issue on how some claims have been paid because it's not really a defined item. So my recommendation would be that we, much like the election, when you have to feed the folks there, that we have something set out that we can collectively use to fund some of this. Now, I think we should probably obviously keep it to a very minimum base, but we probably need to clean that up a little bit so it's a little more defined and we don't have any rub with that.
So like meetings.
Meetings,
So where it says meals,
it may not be a meal.
right, can we retag that or something? I don't like where it's ran through office supplies.
That's
I would
where
rather-
I'm going with this too. So I don't have a problem if we pick up
Right.
donuts for a meeting, or if we purchase Gatorade and coffee for, that should not be a deal. If we are hosting a meeting, we need to be good hosts as well. No different than when we bring the elected for the election officials in, the other, the other folks and we.
It'll help Katie with the election coming up.
Right,
being
and
able
we
to-
provide for that. So I think some clarification we need is to make sure that, yes, we can authorize that. And yes, maybe we put a cap onto it. I don't know what that looks like, but we figure out what we kind of need as a group, discuss it, and we modify so that it has its own item and so that it can be used on a credit card. That's the only way these items will get paid for. So it's just clean it up a little bit in the housework there.
How could we word that? I don't know, just trying to think of the right words.
Refreshments for trainings, meals, refreshments for trainings, add that to the
Food
list.
refreshments for trainings. Would that work?
I would think so. It's not the end of the world if the road department has a once a year safety meeting and they pick up
But,
$40.
and I don't have a
pizza.
problem with
That's not-
that, I have a problem with, I mean, it needs to be, have a receipt, I didn't find a receipt. And we didn't know what it was for.
Understood.
If we
So
could
that-
tag those,
that's
so
why
we
we
know
need-
what that was for a safety training meeting, whole different story.
So we've got to make something like that fit so we don't,
Can we just take meals off and put,
well, you'll still have meals because you'll have meals when,
Right.
other electeds
how
travel.
about food and beverage for
Trainings.
training / election?
Basically, you'd be adding it
How
to
would you
that.
tag those, yeah,
What do you do for the elections currently, Katie?
I'll take that out of election meals.
Because we have an actual fund for that.
Mhm.
So you write a check, you put it on credit card and then pay it back out of that line item.
Yeah, you guys created that 2 years ago.
Right. So we probably should do something like that for other trainings and
well,
so,
that way it would be tagged as meals,
Exactly.
beverages for
and
training.
whether it's used for the courthouse, whether it's used for the road department, sheriff's department, it would just clarify it.
Mhm. So you wanna add a budget line item
I'm trying really hard to hold it,
Okay,
in,
but I'm about to lose it.
okay.
we're having a conversation and we're still in
You accused me though of misrepresenting the claim by not having a receipt and calling it office supplies. It wasn't.
well, number one, you're out of order, Zane. We're in a meeting. Public comments have passed.
And you said it again today,
I did.
and it wasn't
I
office
did not
supplies.
see a receipt. And the last time you tried to run a.
When did I
group
try to
and
do that?
It was office supplies.
No, it was
not
not.
Office supply. Yes, it was. I'm not gonna argue in an open meeting.
Well, you sure accused me of other stuff in open meeting.
Okay, so add a budget line item, you wanna call it beverages? And food?
Refreshments, just call it refreshments.
Well, but
That's,
if you buy donuts, that's not a refreshment. I'm trying to think of a general term where they can get donuts and,
I figured
coffee or
refreshments was what
what's that, Mark?
Call it catering.
catering in. Okay,
Catering? Don, you good with that?
Yeah,
Meals, catering, food, catering, stuff.
Catering,
perfect.
that one, and then Katie's is separate, so that'll work for, do you want this just in road or do you want it in?
I would,
We got general taken care of because Katie's got that account for the election meals.
why couldn't we just take it out of general? Because it would be all encompassing for any office that needs it. Mark has to have a training that's available,
Mhm. Or the
or
courthouse.
the courthouse, or the road department, or anybody. I mean,
Can we put that under general or do you have to keep that separate for election purposes or whatever?
we'd have to create an account.
That would be up to you guys. If you guys just wanna put it in general miscellaneous, you can.
Okay,
And then just run it between 3 and 1.
we want, except for the election. That has its own item.
Right, do we want to just leave it that way? How do you want to do
Well,
that?
the
Kate?
election, you only do every other year, so. I mean, we can leave it that way. It doesn't bother me.
And then we could budget that every year according to,
Sure,
it's however you want to
I'm fine with that. I think,
leave election the way it is and have another one, or you just want to put one and have everything run through general? I'm good either way, just so it's tagged.
I don't know that it matters. I guess it's really too big of a deal for what it is. So
Right.
whatever's the simplest. Katie, what would be the simplest for you in your record keeping? Would it be simpler just to have it all inclusive into one item in general?
I think it would be the easiest out of general miscellaneous.
Perfect.
Instead of each office.
And tag the election in with them and just run them all through that.
Simple. Yep.
I'm good with that, you good with that? You're
It
done.
doesn't increase tracking of that, but yeah, whatever. I think we're beating a dead horse still.
No, it kind of does, because then it's tagged to that account in the budget,
So,
and it's tagged meals and catering or whatever.
so
It's
instead of
tagged
having
catering.
Eric buy it out of the road fund, general fund, miscellaneous, we're gonna buy it out of the general fund, miscellaneous. Is that what you saying?
Does each part of it have a training line? Okay, no,
No, so, for elections, so when we have poll workers, we feed them one meal, for the election day. And that's really the only one that we do, we don't have safety meetings in the courthouse. And if we do have a meal, we all pull together. We don't pull it out of the general fund. We all pull it out of our own pockets. The road department, they would have to have their own meal, because they have safety trainings, whether it's here or Kimball or wherever.
training, something like
Yeah, just,
The sheriff has their own, I mean,
that.
I don't know, Zane has meetings more than we do, so I don't know if you would put it separately in his fund or just leave it under general miscellaneous. It wouldn't affect me one way or the other if you wanted to do it like the board, Casey, Kathy, myself, like if you wanted to put meals in each one of our funds, you could, but I don't think it's really gonna be used to that extent. The only ones that really have trainings is Zane, the roads, and then elections.
Do-
Education or something like that.
trainings or whatever.
It's all,
Should we just call it catering for training?
Okay.
One account, does that sound good, Katie?
Sure.
Catering for trainings. And create an account. Good with that.
I'm good with that. So
Okay.
we'll update the policy.
We don't need to vote on that, do we?
well, when it's updated.
When it's updated, we'll have to.
That's what I'm asking. We don't need to vote now. We vote when it's updated.
Right.
That was my question. Okay. Which other one did you have?
That was, I don't know, I know there's another one that I cannot.
That was the $3 on the use of the vehicle, and I think that's been sorted out as a law.
That has been,
Yeah, so Ashley and I got a hold of MIPS. It shows up like we pay, but we really don't. It just comes up on their timesheet or their pay stub that it's, to show that it's on there. And then when we do W-2s, it comes up with that total as a taxable income, but the county doesn't pay in and neither does the employee.
okay.
They just get taxed on that total amount.
They get taxed on the total amount that was set in, but there's no additional,
No,
okay, very good. So that's clear, that's kind of the moot point. Okay. That's all I would have.
So we want to leave that as that.
If it's cleared up, it's cleared up. Changes.
Okay, and I guess I just have a question as to why we do one vehicle that way. And you have others that drive them. Is this just for your foreman, maybe?
It's just the superintendent typically.
No, this is the foreman that's doing the tax thing, this is the foreman. So is, I mean, the road super, he's a given, but what I'm saying is you have one employee that gets this $3, 3%, whatever it is.
I think it's based
And
on
that's it.
use, is it not? Like if Tim was using the county pickup as a weed superintendent, or as the shop for him, and if he was taking it home or using it, then he would be
Under the tax.
under
rate as well.
those same rules.
That's not break, it's not tax break.
Not
It's taxed on.
taxed on.
Yeah, it's taxable income to.
Yeah, I got it. I said it wrong.
Yeah, it should be the same for everybody, is your point.
And I think it is.
Right, but I didn't know
That's
how we determine, is
Is it
it
the
just for your
same for
foreman
everybody,
or
or-
is it
Well, it's-
for?
You're
I mean,
anybody-
superintendent's zone.
It's like,
Yes.
I think it's primarily foremen, but I don't know that other people use them to drive occasionally.
I did provide the road department with a form that needs to be filled out if anyone drives a vehicle home and back, and they're supposed to turn it in with their timesheet. I can't assume if somebody's driving them, I have to have proof. So if I don't get the forms, then nobody's driving them.
You don't put it there.
So that's the only way they get the taxable part of it on there.
Is if they're actually operating. Very good.
I think Jay's unique in the fact that he can get called out at any time and he did. It's not just a convenience for him, but it's also convenient for us. But we have to recognize that.
Right, and it's to a benefit for our county to have somebody.
Yep.
Agreed.
Yeah, that's why I asked if it was just for that or how that would.
I think anybody that would have that would be subject to that.
As long as Katie's getting the forms and problem solved, right?
Problem solved.
If she gets the forms, then she runs them through. If she don't, right? Okay, anything else in here, Lynn, you wanted to hit on?
Not at this point. Casey, do you have any recommendations?
I have a list of stuff that we're gonna talk about in our handbook committee, our meeting,
Right.
next week. And then if we make any changes, I'll do the same thing where I send out emails to everybody with the list of the changes and.
Okay.
and
Were you here when we had the conversation about putting the revise, so we did
Yep.
get the.
I have a note, perfect. Can I ask a question real quick on it too?
Uh-huh.
Were any changes made to the credit card policy? Is that what you guys were talking about? Sorry, I was.
We
Right.
took the meals off of that and changed it to what.
Well, we're still gonna have meals.
Right, but we called it something
We
different.
added catering.
So my point with asking is that was something you guys did that you emailed me that I just put in the back. So if any changes are to that, can you make them and then send them to me? Cause that was something, along with like the key policy and stuff that you guys, I think, voted on, didn't they? Voted them in. So those are yours to make changes on, if that makes sense.
Yeah, do you wanna send her that change? It's just the meals that are listed under credit card.
Right.
Do you wanna send her the verbiage? We're just changing that to catering for training.
Meals plus catering for training. So I mean, if you're still gonna be able to use the card for meals if needed,
Okay.
or if you're gonna have a training and you can cater for trainings. Is that accurate? Am I saying this right?
I think it both falls under catering, but yeah, however.
That's fine.
I can make that and I'll send it with the other updates.
22nd one. Okay,
So do we have a policy prohibiting people who test positive for cannabis operating, being employed? Where are we at?
well, we have the testing and it states into our policy that you're not supposed to be operating under impaired or otherwise, so.
So this impaired deal's ugly. It is really, you have to have somebody who's trained. I don't know, I don't even know what to call it, but to
Yeah.
judge whether somebody's impaired.
A drug recognition effort, expert.
In order to hold it up in court. It's crazy. I don't know, if we need.
I thought we were covered on that end of it, but I'm not sure.
We should be with our drug testing.
Well, there's gonna be increasing questions because of the medical marijuana. That's what happens.
Okay.
The CDL deals, kind of a slam dunk, but you don't have to let in under the.
Well, you can't let them work if they're on, I don't know, some medication that makes them sleepy as well.
Anything that impairs them.
And your drug's not gonna, your drug test is
We
not.
don't test.
Oh, I don't
We don't
think.
test for OxyContin. We test for, we test for alcohol. And. Yeah.
But if you have a prescription for Paxil and it makes them drowsy,
We don't test for that.
right?
Most of the panels don't include all those. They might have some opioids. Yeah, that's an impairment issue. But you can't test for cannabis, and we do test for cannabis. Or the employees in general, under the drug testing policy, or just the road department.
That's a good question. I think the only time I've had questions or people have come to me with questions, it's been a really hard party who's been random.
And maybe that's good. Anyhow,
What's your suggestion there? Do you want us to widen that out? Do you want us to?
you know, NERMA or NACO would probably have a lot of policy for that. That's well above my skill.
Can you basically cover it now or?
Well, I think in the road department. Medical, just because you have a medical card does not allow you to show up to work in this county. Under the,
Well, the same if you have a prescription for another medication that makes alters
you
your
can,
meds.
yes, absolutely.
It plays in the same. The same way, so maybe something to look at in the future, huh?
I'm sure something will have to.
Well, yeah.
I'll make a note.
Okay,
No, the road department, we don't drug test anybody else, right?
There's no-
Just the road employees, right?
and we just do pools, so I don't know what we test, 3 guys a year.
It's on random pool, I thought.
What?
Random, it used to be a random.
And that can be the same guy 3 times in a week. It can be nobody for a year.
And it's based off the CDL.
So in the CDL, or, okay.
Real guys are in the pool.
Okay.
All right.
Did your
Yes,
questions
I'm
answered?
good.
Are you good with?
I am.
Property tax fraud alert. Taylor.
I'm gonna take over for Taylor. So I believe it was mentioned last meeting to see if me and Katie had anything in our budget to cover this. That's why we brought it to you guys, because we don't have anything in our budgets. We budget for what we need exactly. So that's basically where it's at. If you guys are interested in it, then I don't know if you can find somewhere to take it out of, or maybe you want to budget for it next year, or just drop it. Whatever.
I'm sure there's a way to.
I mean, if you wanted to fund it, we could fund it.
Right.
We just have to decide if it's something we want to fund today, or if we want to kick it down the road 6 months till next year. Till next budget.
I definitely would not do anything until next budget.
That's where I'm at today too.
And
I think I think it could be some value to it, but I think that's a discussion we should really take on too when we put a budget together for the next cycle.
He did say this quote would be good, I believe, through the first of the year, but then after that, it probably would be different.
I'm sure.
Understandable.
Yeah, I'm like you guys, see where this goes, where this fraud stuff goes. I don't see it where it's not going to throw a red flag early on.
It would be as
It
soon as
does.
it's recorded, yeah.
It does throw a red
Yeah,
flag
so
early on.
reports are created, I believe, once a month for all the deeds that are filed, and that's sent to them, and that's immediate. So, so at least it's 1 month and not years.
So,
We have no choice, we have to do it. And it'll at least, it would let the property owner know that something happened.
and I did talk to Gene about it, they do it in Scottsbluff County. There's some way that they can, and help me out a little bit, Katie. You have 24 to 48 hours after you receive the document to actually get it entered into the system, is that right?
Yeah, so when you record your we get our documents in, we timestamp them, and then, best practices is to get them recorded that same day. And then when you get them in the system, if I need to get the deed to Casey, I do. If not, put it in the books. But it takes 24 hours for the system to reboot. I don't know what the word is.
Populate, yeah.
Yeah, and then, at the end of the month, I send 2 different files out. I send one to, the Department of I think it's Revenue, where I send the 521s and all that. And then I send another report to MIPS, and they, double check all of the deeds and make sure they're correct for when they put them on the Nebraska Deeds Online. So, but it does take 24 hours for them to upload into the, into this atmosphere, so.
And somehow with this agreement, the people that look at these titles say, make contact either via email or phone within that 24-hour period, supposedly. I don't know if they can do that on a large scale or not.
No, I don't think that's exactly how it works. I think the report is generated with the names.
Yeah.
And if you are signed up for it with that name, it'll send it to you. It's not like a person sitting there typing, it's just a hit on the name.
But it's pretty fast.
Yeah.
24 to 48 hours.
Once that report is sent, it just all works in the computer system too. So like Mix generates the report, immediately sends it.
Because if it takes a month, it's worth it.
That's what I was thinking.
24 hours, if you're a crook, you've already put a lien on the property with somebody. I mean, to have that paperwork. Anyhow.
How often do you look at your property, So is a month better than a year? If you don't go on and look, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. Okay.
Want me to just bring it up around budget
Yeah,
time?
good, Jesus got my head spinning. and-
I want to say, I think that this is a good thing to look at, and I appreciate Taylor's work
Yes.
on this. And I know she's done a lot of homework onto this to try to get this lined up. And it's something that I do want to take seriously, and I am taking seriously, but I just want to say, I think that we should, in my opinion, I would like to wait until our next budget cycle, and we can decide as a board at that point how to move forward with it. So we're talking 6 months.
Have you heard a lot from the public, like anybody?
We've had people come in and ask us about it. We didn't have very many people sign up, no banner dummy, so it's hard to get in contact with everybody. So if it was something we did decide to pursue, we were gonna send out postcards so we could reach more people, letting them know it was an option. But I think we had like five to 7 people who saw it on social media or the website or came in and talked to us because they saw it in another county. That's how it initially got brought up. A gentleman saw the advertisements for it in Scottsbluff County and checked if we were doing it as well.
And we've already had one in Banner County fraud case already.
Yeah, that was,
Something to consider. I mean, not a,
It can happen.
I just don't know if we're wide open for 6 months.
Wide open forever. If you don't check your deeds, you're wide open forever. I'm not sure there aren't actually pretty safe ways to handle that, but you'd have to have an attorney.
and we do send out the sales verification forms. So that's kind of like hey, something happened, let us know. A lot of people know those too, so. I don't mind bringing it back up in 6 months.
Okay.
letting you guys know about it, see if it's something you want.
Be sure to thank Taylor for her work.
Yeah,
So I know she has
yeah,
put a
really
lot of
appreciate that.
effort into this and has taken, and let her know that we do take it seriously too.
I think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing.
All right. Thank you.
Once we decide to implement this, Casey, how long will it take it to kick in? Like, is it pretty much immediate?
I believe so. I'd have to read through this all again. It was a while. I read it.
What I'm thinking,
I think
is
it
we
would
could
just be
start getting these more and more, if we could implement it at that time.
Yeah.
And it would like,
If it's something that becomes an issue, I can bring it back up sooner.
like if we see more fraud starting to pop up, then maybe we can address it then.
If something else comes up, maybe be sure to put it back on the agenda so we can.
I feel like it's
Certainly.
I mean, we can figure out how to fund
The
it
budget.
right now,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
let's,
we got it.
I'll bring it back up if something happens or in 6 months.
okay, thank you.
Thank you. Tell Taylor, thank you.
I will.
Are you guys good with that?
Okay.
Audigate policy. A copy of that in here.
No, I didn't get anything.
I told you in my report that I don't have one to share because I don't have it done. It's turned into a little bit more in looking at it, the different types of roads, try to consolidate that down to not distinguishing between the roads. I've gone through, I guess, for the purposes of uniformity, got everything down to the same kind of terminology, auto-gate instead of cattle car and all that kind of stuff. So get everything consistent. And then it's looking at trying to do what the board had asked and what my instructions were. But it's not something that you just take what's there, like I thought I could, and write it into it. It's gonna probably be a full rewrite type of thing. And
So do you want us to table it till?
yeah, when I get it done and ready, I'll get it to Katie. I don't think right now we have a pressing issue. I'm not gonna let it sit, but I spent probably the better part of the day Friday, this last week, and I had a day that was clear to just sit and work on it. Working on it and then looking at, how other counties have addressed some of what we need to address to see if there's language and that sort of stuff, which kind of led me down 4 or 5 other rabbit holes that I didn't know. I don't know that we want to go down, so.
There's a lot of that.
There's a lot of rabbit holes. So,
And then out of gates.
Calibers.
so it's taken a little more than I anticipated in terms of. time.
Okay. So we'll just let you have Katie know.
I'll let Katie know.
Is that where Katie?
Ready.
What are generally the operating statutes?
4 cattle guards? I don't know that there are statutes that cover that. Well, okay, so there are statutes that cover cattle guards,
Right,
but they are applicable to the roads.
yes. That's
And
what I noticed.
that's all I've found is the road.
You
The
too.
railroad has 6 months to put it in, from the time they open that line. Landowners have to fence, that sort of thing. There's, from the research I found, more and more counties are putting them on the approaches and the aprons into the property.
Private property.
And not on the road. And they'll do the installation. So what a lot of counties are doing is you come get a permit to install it. County allows that. County will install it at a fee. The landowner provides the cattle guard, auto guard. And it's placed on the private property part of it. It's past the setback in the right of way. And the landowner is responsible for cleaning it and everything. So there's been a shift in terms of who's responsible for what. And part of that's, keeps that equipment off of the primary road and primary road surface.
And I think that's right.
So, we have some, as I understand it, are on the primary road surface, and I think that by Singleton's. And that's where you run into start running into issues. I mean, if you want to get those off those roads, how are you gonna address that? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna make the landowner put those in and pay for those? Are you gonna work a deal where you can get those off the road and help with installation onto the private property and let that be the landowner's responsibility? We don't have, the other part of it, and I spent some time talking with Eric. Our old policy talks about type 1 and type 2 roads. Under the 9 or so categories of Nebraska roads, Department of Roads, there's no type 1, there's no type 2. So where I started initially was to get rid of the terminology type 1, type 2, and try to correspond that to what road classifications in the statutes are. Well, that's not proven to be super easy either, because of our local road uses, and we're more rural than a lot of other counties. So we're probably typically, as far as volume, what would be like a collector would be your 14s, those types of things.
So is it our intent, I'm gonna use, you tell me the right of way, the one that goes up to the old patent place. Whatever, we all know those different pieces, right? Do that affect those auto gates in that area? I mean, there's a ton of lakes in Denham County.
Yeah.
Meanders.
And I got a list of, I think it's maybe a partial list of oddities, and there's a lot of them. Sure. And that was, I think I got that from Chelsea yesterday, and kind of went, that's a lot. So, and I don't know where all of those are placed. I don't know how they're placed. So kind of want to get with Eric to see, are we dealing with 5 that are in primary road, kind of like road 14 type roads? Or are they just ones that kind of go off into no man's land for a while?
That one was primary electric road.
Yeah, so
The one goes up, and this one doesn't have any auto gates, goes south of Harrisburg, 57 has 18, and those are electric.
so
And they all have a bunch of auto gates. Are we trying to affect those as well, or is that
well,
different?
Well, we would want them widened in the event that we were going to
right.
replace them.
To
So
stay-
as they would come out, the goal of this would be to get them widened, to handle the increased width of equipment and the speed of the vehicle. Like, everything's changed.
Absolutely.
I mean, we all travel
Trucks,
faster
bigger
than what we did.
trucks.
Bigger trucks, bigger vehicles, bigger equipment. It's all changed. So in an advent to keep up, obviously the goal would be to get those widened as they needed replaced, like not to take it on today, but if it needed widened, if it needed replaced, then at that point you would address it and put in a wider.
At whose cost is the question?
Well, I would say it's still to the landowner's benefit, so it'd be the landowner's cost with the county to maintain.
So you wouldn't want to tell these guys that, because the easement, go ahead, hand it to the county attorney.
Did you have a
Because they agreed that we don't have to fence that.
input, Tim?
If it ain't fenced, it's either got a gate at each end or a lot of gate, and they're not responsible.
Tim has a,
And I don't know how many have those kind of easements.
So to put some of this into perspective, and that if Chelsea gave you the right spreadsheet,
Yeah, I don't know.
there's,
It was like 75 on
yes. So a type 1 road starts at this road and ends at that road, you can travel through and drive wherever. A type 2 road starts at this road and ends at somebody's house. Okay? There are 4 or 5 type 2 roads. out of the 75.
Okay.
There are 10 gates on that list that I think we need to address this. They occur where the road transitions from a public road into a private whatever. Most of them are in a person's house. So you got the county road coming in, an auto gate in their yard. I believe, and everybody I've talked to, and I'm not trying to speak out of turn, but, those should probably be the landowners, probably not the county. And also on that spreadsheet, we've gone out and surveyed all the auto gates in the last few years. Most of the
Yeah, I think Brittany had said that.
Brittany did it, we reviewed it again just in the last couple of months, so we've got a pretty accurate idea of how many gates, where they're at, what they are constructed of. I feel like we're in really good shape on, as far as the cement, foundation. Majority of them have cement, less than 10% are still sitting on wood. Width wise, surprisingly, we were better than what I thought. We need to come up with a good spec on how wide we want that opening to be. And possibly that could be depending on the road classification, if it's minimum maintenance, X amount, if it's a collector, wider.
Right, and so, for me to do it, I just have to spend more time with the road department so that I understand all of it to try to put it together.
There's a GIS layer that has, I think you asked
I
for it.
looked at that, and I also found another map from the early 80s where they did the same survey. And there's like 130 other gates, almost twice as many as what we have now, so.
He's good on that.
Um,
Thanks, Tim. Central Station Monitoring Agreement, Nebraska Fire and Safety. Is Bowman, you been working on?
Almost looking at it at the same time you are. My understanding is that this is an annual 3-year, based on what I read in the contract, commitment to have High Barker monitor our entire alert system, both fire, carbon monoxides. And that's $600 a year. I did visit with Tim a little bit about it. And I certainly agree that it would be better to have them do it, at least in the initials. Unfortunately, it's 3 years, not just one. Simply because they'll be able to work some bugs out remotely. That won't cause somebody to have to come down here and, I hope. We did not intend on doing this at the initial outset. But I'm not sure whether the comm center can actually answer these or not. That was what it's designed for.
They won't use the comm center.
Well, I don't care what.
Highbacher
I
will
care
not
whether the
use
comm center,
that,
if we
because
get
they
it
have not
dedicated-
been doing their due diligence and have not been as resetting and doing their call. They have not been doing due diligence, let's just say. So they will not use it.
So if Pi Barker calls them and they don't do their due diligence, Dan Building's gonna burn down.
Well, Barker monitors this,
Yeah.
the comm center dispatches. So it's really not in their scope of work for dispatch to, it's not something they normally deal with, and I will reach out to them and see what the rest of the world does. But I believe that this is how the rest of the world operates, is with,
Is that what the school does?
yeah.
Yes.
Well, it may be the only choice.
And then if something occurs and our monitoring people will call dispatch will. But our dispatch is screwed up right now. Not to badmouth them, but they're going through a transitional period, trying to get everything back together. So for them to take on that, we would expect a lot of problems.
Okay. Well, then you're left with no choice.
So is this something we need to approve or?
Well, yeah,
My only question is, our names of contact, why are those not our officials?
Those are your, and who's on there?
Taylor, Holly, and Ashley?
So what you're wanting there, if I understand this right, is middle of the night, you get an alarm here. They call fire department. They're looking for a key holder, somebody who has a key.
In town,
And these are,
Otherwise, the fire department's
Easy
gonna show
access.
up with an axe
okay.
and bust a hole in the door.
Or you put a key box on the door.
Yes, we do not have a Knox box here, which maybe we should. Something else to look into, but, usually in the rest of the world, you get an alarm at a facility, they're looking for a key holder, somebody local they can call to come unlock the building. And
That
that's
makes
why
sense.
those people are on that.
very good.
Thank you, that makes sense.
Your choices too.
Yep. Perfect.
so
They're all
as
pretty
we
good
do
with it,
that,
I
we'll
guess.
have to
I hope
create a
so.
category called the call out. Because it's not the employee's responsibility to do this without pay. If they want to do it without pay, that's fine.
And these three are agreeable to
They're,
it? I mean, have we,
I'm sorry, say that again?
have we asked Taylor, Holly, and Ashley if they're okay
Yes, we
with
did.
this? And they're good with it?
Yep, they are.
Okay,
Very good.
just wanna make sure they're okay with it.
Yeah.
But we should pay them 2 hours call out when they have to come do that. And you're putting them on call just like you put the road department on call. When they leave, they get paid. It's usually a minimum. Here, what's call out for the road department? Yeah, we should probably.
2 hours minimum if you call them or something.
I would move to adopt the Nebraska Fire Safety and Fire Equipment Pipe Barker Central Monitoring Estimation Agreement, authorizing the chair to sign.
So second,
Been moved and seconded to approve the Pipe Archer Central Station Monitoring Agreement for $600 a year, right?
Yes. And I think that's.
Any
probably
further
fixed.
discussion?
So, it's a 3-year contract at any rate.
Is it 600 for cellular soul path and 600 plus 600 for the custom package, or is 600 for one or the other? Do you
I
know?
can't tell you that.
It's confusing, I read it, it's.
With 600 for both, it's gonna get pretty expensive.
Sounds like it can be either the cellular soul path, or we can customize it either or for 600. Is that
That's all I
kind of how
could
you read
figure
it?
out. That's all I could figure out. I don't think we have that solar.
cellular soul path.
Okay, yeah, so.
Well, it's checked on here and it's checked for 600, and then there's a 600 custom package. So is it 1,200 a year? According to this?
Well, since it's security alarm as well,
I don't think it would.
so it would just be the hourly test dialer. We'll have to have a dedicated phone line for this too, I assume. This will be another additional. Doesn't have a total price.
No, but it's that multiple check, that's what makes me wonder, is it 1,200 or is it 600?
That's what I would assume. I would go to the worst first. I would assume it's
Worst
gonna,
first?
always, I would go to the 1,200. So I guess at this point, so we've authorized a month.
Do you want to amend your motion, Don?
No, because I don't think I have a price and no, just accept the contract. Fees and charges.
I guess I need a clarification on price before I want to jump off any bridge.
But Kathy's talked to him more than I had, you know?
Yeah, but that just appeared on my desk. I didn't talk to him about that part. And so Tim and I worked on getting the people to key holders. And I I thought we only had one on there, because I didn't think we have the
Cellular
cellular, whatever that thing is on there. So,
So that's hourly test.
they didn't say anything to us about that. But they talked to somebody different every time they were in here, so they might have talked to Ashley one time and talked to me one time.
Well, it's got both $600 checked, so I'm guessing 1,200 a year, which I think are the security of.
$100 a month, you know.
Well, it is listed 50 a month, but then there's no monthly on the custom package. I don't know.
So I wonder if that's not a package.
I wonder.
I don't.
They word it really weird on there.
So do we need a definite dollar amount on this?
Well, are you not gonna have a monitor? Cause if
After
nobody
we install
monitors
it,
it.
back to zero, so.
All packages are billed annually, but I bet it's 1,200 a month, which I don't have a problem with that one.
1,200 a year.
A year, I'm sorry, 1,200 a year. I don't have. a
So that's the
problem
worst
with that
case
either,
scenario,
yeah.
and that's where you're gonna be is $100 a month to. Make a motion to include that up to, or it's really, it's all encompassing, you're right, so we.
That's what it is.
You've made the motion, I've seconded it, so I guess we.
Well, you can amend it, but
And we either approve or don't approve it.
so the dollar amount can end up being 25,000 and that'd be
Well-
okay.
No, according to the contract, according to what we have in front of us,
Worst case.
it's gonna be somewhere between $600 and $1,200, depending on how it's clarified. But the clarification is not clear to anybody at this point.
If you'll recess for 5 minutes, we might be able to. So I was unaware that we were gonna do this. Pretty dangerous.
If you want, I can go down and see if I can get a call in to.
I think Don's working on it.
Are you calling Andy?
I think he's working on it.
Okay.
I would just like the price clarified. I mean, I'm good either way,
That's
but
reasonable, like, we're gonna accept it either way, but what is the price so we can put it in? I mean, it's either gonna be
Right.
600 or it's gonna be 1,200.
Yeah.
It's one or the other.
and I'm good either way. I like a price on there so they can't put whatever they want to in there. Well, you approved it.
Yeah, with our panic buttons, we were hooked up,
Oh, that's part of the security, custom security. Right
and
there.
they just also want it, so
That's
really.
I'll bet that is.
I don't remember what's what. Even if it costs us, they get
I
paid.
think it's gonna be 12.
It's gonna be 1,200.
I can't use an answer. It's not working till you approve this, so.
Right. So 1,200.
Yep, I think that's what it's gonna be. And I don't know if that includes the phone line, honestly.
Right.
We may get a bill for another phone line.
But that won't come from Pipe Arc, right?
No,
That'll come
You're
from
right.
That comes from.
whoever.
So my motion's good as far as I'm concerned, so.
I've seconded
You're
it.
not gonna put a dollar amount in there?
No. Cause they have the right to raise it within 15 days of notice, so.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Don,
Yes.
Robin,
No.
Blake,
Yes,
I would prefer a dollar amount.
I understand.
and I would too, but let's get it on, let's get it going.
National Radon Month. I thought we just did this, did we not? Did we not?
I think I'm sorry. I'm thinking of something else.
Maybe. A different kind of month.
Different kind of mouth, different kind of that. You're so right.
Let's do that. Okay, so proclamation of Radon Action Month, whereas radon is a colorless, odorless, radioactive gas that may threaten the health of citizens and their families, whereas radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in the United States, whereas radon is the leading cause of lung cancer in non-smokers. Whereas the National Academy of Sciences estimated that up to 21,000 lung cancer deaths occur in the United States each year. Whereas radon is found in 1 in 15 homes across the United States have elevated radon levels. Whereas any home in Harrisburg may have elevated levels of radon even if other homes in the same neighborhood do not. Whereas testing for radon is simple and inexpensive, whereas identified radon problems can be fixed. Whereas Panhandle Public Health Department, the Department of Health and Human Services, and the U.S. Environment Protection Agency are supporting efforts to encourage Americans to test their homes for radon, have elevated levels of radon reduced, and have new homes built with radon-resistant features. Now therefore, the Banner County Commissioners of Banner County do hereby proclaim January 2026 as official Radon Action Month in Banner County, Nebraska, in recognition of the importance of testing homes for radon. I hereby proclaim the month of January 2026 as National Radon Action Month. And I urge every member of the community to test their homes by contacting the Panhandle Public Health District at 308-487-3600 to request a free radon test kit dated the 16th day of September, 2025. I'll make that my motion that we approve Radon Action Month.
Second.
Okay, let's go.
Authorizing chairperson to sign. Any further discussion?
Okay.
Roll call vote, please.
John,
Yes.
Robin,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
Void claim number 025-12101 and 025-10112. Remind me who those were to. Oh, one was to Wizards for a lost check, right, Katie?
Yep.
And one was to the US Bank for a general charge.
Move to void claim number 02512101 and 02510112.
Second.
Then moved and seconded to approve voiding claim numbers 02512101 and 025-10112. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
John,
Yes.
Robin,
Yes.
Lee,
Yes.
2026 cost of living increase for elected officials.
So I talked to Mark, I originally talked to Robin about this, when he came into work on the budget corrections, and I pulled up the old the original resolution when this was all set. And my hangup is every other year you guys have only in the budget increased our budgets by 2.4. This you guys approved to go up 5%. And in the verbiage in this resolution, it says 2.4 or matching the Midwest.
Consumer pricing.
Yes, thank you. And that's at 2.8%. And I called Mark to see what is the right thing to do. And he said this would have to be a board decision. And so I don't know, if you guys want the regular 2.4, the 2.8, the 5%. I can't make that decision. That's up to you guys.
This is for payroll February 2nd, correct?
January 1st.
Okay. I'm trying to keep your months with your payroll. You'll cut a check January 2nd for December, but you need these numbers to figure February 2nd's payroll for January. So we could still decide this January.
In January, you could.
Well, our
When we
cost
do-
of
when we
living,
do all the salaries.
our cost of living increases always happen January January.
In
So-
January, so it'd be on your February pay.
And,
So you would need to know by,
right, but you guys requested to have nothing on the agendas because of the reorganization in
That's
January.
I
right.
think this is on the agenda though, right? I
No.
mean, this is when we
No,
set
it's-
the, well, it should be, because that's when we set the official salaries is January 8th.
We can put it on the agenda.
Well, that's what.
Right. That's where
That's
we're
when
at.
we
It's
set
not
'em.
currently on there, so I mean, we can put it on the agenda.
Well, I think
This would be for 2026. What's on for reorganization is for 27 through 31,
It's the new offices.
the new offices. So what I'm asking for is for the year of 2026.
So we've been working on the wages and the salaries and all of that,
Right.
and we're gonna play with numbers today. I thought we made that, and we probably haven't asked you to put it on the agenda yet for our January 8th meeting. That's when we will set
So
the
you can figure
officials
out
like
the cost of
we do
living.
it every January. We set the cost of living rates for officials and stuff every in that meeting. So if we can just add that to the agenda on our 8th
Okay,
for our statutory meeting, that's when we
Okay,
set
that's
these.
fine.
Is it right or am I off a month?
No, you can do that. That's fine. Absolutely.
I get
Add a
off
little
with
time
you.
to the day.
It's hard when
I
Katie's
understand.
payroll runs backwards and,
Yes, yes.
yeah. Is that okay?
That's fine.
And then we can work on numbers with this today.
Okay.
And see what we all wanna do for that. Cause I think you gave us those numbers for cost of living, right, Katie?
yeah, it's all attached with the resolution. The consumer price index, it's on the second page of the stack papers I gave you. It says regional prices rose 0.3% in August, up 2.8% over the year. And then it goes into more description after that.
And we can look at this when we look at these today.
Sure.
And if we wanna decide today, we can, and we talk about wages and salaries. We can do it either today or January 8th. We just gotta let Katie know. Good on that?
I'm good.
Next item is budget analysis with Caleb Johnson. I don't know, is he here yet? He had a conference call, he told me from 10:30 to 11. I said I didn't think we would get to him till about 11 anyway.
Oh, that's good much, yeah. Haven't seen them.
Not yet.
Nothing. I heard it, what, let me go check too, but I didn't think so.
Well, I don't know if
I think he would come
wait
here.
till after his conference.
Let's penny mark in the attorney's room.
What's that? What'd you say?
So let's penny mark in the attorney's room. If they're gonna do that.
Oh, somebody was talking about that and Lane was talking about that in dorm rooms. I'm like, I
Lane,
didn't.
I knew something about.
Well, it was one of those wedges that Doug was handing out at
Yeah,
the cert thing
I
and,
didn't want to.
yep, never done it. Do we want to go ahead and do your discussion of memorandum of understanding, Don?
We can.
Just kind of keep moving forward.
So
You good with that? And we'll see where Caleb's at.
the sheriff's group in the Western Regional Sheriff's Group was kind enough to entertain me in their meeting last week, and Sheriff Overman and I, of course, are working on trying to move forward on a juvenile jail plan. We talked about that at the Western Regional NACO meeting. And in order to do that, we have to do a study for the payment to see how many rooms we need, essentially. And we kind of talked about it a little bit and decided that since Mark and his firm does both Kimball and Banner County, and he works out of Scotts Bluff, he can work with the Scotts Bluff County attorney and drop an MOU to present to all the counties to get this process started. Which isn't gonna be an inexpensive deal quite at all.
Inexpensive?
It'll be inexpensive.
Inexpensive,
Yeah.
okay.
When you get to actually doing this study, then we'll have to put some money in the pot. And how we've talked about doing this is basically the same way Ridge is. Our stake and Ridge is relatively small. It'll be on a population basis, the bigger counties pay the majority of the bill. Assuming that they go along with that. But, and I talked to Mark about this, and he's well aware of what it is, but I can't ask Mark to do it on behalf of the county. We have to ask Mark to do it, so he will participate in it. So,
And this is that juvenile, thing in, Kendall,
no, that's not.
totally different.
This is looking for a place, we need some beds to put people, their juvenile things in custody, in actual custody. So,
And oh, you're just looking to see like how many potentially Banner County.
well, they'll do a study. Whole area. Looks like this will include as far east at least as Keith County and perhaps Perkins County. So it's gonna be a big, it's a fairly large undertaking, but it's a fairly diverse, you know, we have some people that can throw the money in the pot. I don't know anybody that's not gonna,
I think it's needed.
Yeah.
I think it's really needed.
so.
So this is just saying, go ahead and do the study,
Yes.
right?
It's okay to, what we're saying is okay to have Mark, somebody's gotta pay Mark. And he's our county attorney. So if we end up having to pay him, I'm not paying him personally, so either the board's gonna do it or
It would come out of his budget anyway, right?
it will, at least in part. And when they get this all set up, they'll fund it and everybody will chip in, so we'll already have chipped in something. But I think it's a worthy project. I think Zane supports it.
So you need a motion to.
I think we should just to allow him to know that we're behind it.
Comments, thoughts?
No, that's fine.
That's what it is.
So I make a motion to accept the memorandum of understanding for juvenile justice study to begin. Is that what you want, Dawn?
I think I'd authorize our county attorney to participate in that, would be the language.
Authorizing county attorney to participate.
Yep, in drafting the juvenile justice memorandum of understanding.
Okay, you get that. Did you second that?
I will second that now, yeah,
Sorry.
if that's the complete motion.
Let me know when you're good, Katie.
Did you guys say authorize Mark?
County attorney.
Yeah.
To conduct the study.
To drop the memorandum
Okay.
to conduct the study. He won't do the study, we'll have to pay somebody. This is a weird rule. You gotta pay somebody to do this. Look at what we spent on the road study, you know? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
where does somebody go?
Are you good? Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Don,
Yes.
Robin?
Yes.
Lee?
Yes,
Did we find Caleb at all? Kathy was in here. No, she left again.
I think she said no.
I'm sorry?
I think she said no, she didn't find it.
Okay, we'll move on. I did tell him 11 o'clock because I thought this was all gonna take us longer.
Well, we ain't doing that.
I know, but,
I don't move on, please.
yeah, shall we move on to claims?
That's,
And nope, I didn't come in and really look at these again today.
I did it, so I'm gonna go use the restroom.
You're good. You're good with that?
Yeah. See, there's not times.
I'll trade you, Katie. Thank you. Have you been drilled at all?
I have not, I mean, other than I said about the
Or he threw it back to.
That's the other one. Oh.
American Tower, that's the one we were trying to think of last night.
last night, American Tower.
Is that the old owl? I'm sorry, is that still the old owl?
I think so. Did they get a new one?
I guess not.
It's the
I
old
don't
one.
think, I think it's just a new laptop, right?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the owl we were gonna limp along.
Seems to be working. Okay.
Paper towels.
Paper towel.
I said, yeah, we gotta buy paper towels, so can't run a public building without paper towels.
No, you cannot.
Give that job out. You can get a list of employees and if they're getting paid.
Are they all done with our roof? They get us all.
I think so. Yeah.
As far
It's
as,
public record, it's
Yeah.
not.
Now if it never rains, we can test it out.
I know, it's hard to tell.
No, I don't,
Moisture.
it didn't blow away, so that's.
So.
Yeah, that's
Not a plus.
That was a true test,
You
wasn't
know, you take all
It's
this.
supposed to be 65-mile-an-hour
That's
gust.
part of the road, once it's in.
Sorry.
Emission
Two more.
store and all. There's another way you can do some of this, okay.
or paper towels.
No, the only way to get to the
Shop
system
towels.
is if I print all of this.
it? Everyone there too.
I know that.
You can't email those things.
Well, I can, but it's, I've been told to do what you guys have paid to. So I can do it both, but
All right, Don, you got enough room over there?
What?
I said you have enough room over
I
there?
got,
I'm on.
Making piles.
I spent 45 years writing in a cabin book and you're this big, but I don't need much space.
You had a secretary, but then they had to decipher all that.
Yeah,
That was a challenge.
he did get tired of looking at those small numbers sometimes.
Yeah.
Hey Kathy, sister reported who my large check from yesterday.
What?
Wish she didn't have to make pennies.
That's right, that's because I had to adjust that because of that.
Sure you did.
Did you find Caleb all?
No, I even went all the way back in the road department, but
Yeah.
not even our Caleb was back there. So
I told him about 11.
I'll bet you that.
In his defense, like he's
I
not.
get desperate. I know a guy in Colorado that's got five gallon buckets full of pennies in his garage, so we sorted
No kidding?
like hundreds of them.
My dad's got those still in his garage, not sorted.
Not sorted.
I said,
If you need help sorting some, but I can help. You could just bring a bucket.
I told him, I said, spread a sheet out on the front lawn, get a hose, clean them all off, shake it out.
It's a dirty business.
He did find an
You
Indian
stink like
one in
copper
there.
pennies.
I know. My son went up to this, Memory in Time or whatever, it's a antique shop up in Gary. And he was down digging around and the stuff, saw that they had a roll of pennies. He's like, oh, right, I'll buy this. So he took it up and went to try to buy this roll of pennies from this antique shop. She wouldn't sell it to him. She says, oh, no, I'm not selling those. I'm keeping those. And she took those pennies and, they were on the shelf. She wouldn't part with them. And that was a couple months ago.
Why did you keep
So
them?
this
You're never
is
gonna
a
sell.
weird one.
Yeah. I think we're gonna be okay, though. They have a whole couple gallons of pennies.
You may be able.
So I guess they cost more to make than the.
They have for years. And we made them cheaper and cheaper and cheaper, and they're still 3 cents to make it a penny.
They make them out of paper. That is so probably. Stupid.
You know what screws this system up? Is the taxes. If it was 6% instead of 5.5%, you'd never have a penny.
That's true. Actually, it was just paying 5, not 6, not 6.
Because every business owner is smart enough to go, we're gonna charge, they'll quit charging you $3.99. They'll charge you $4 plus tax.
Well,
And it still
normally,
wouldn't work out, would it?
yeah, a lot of our stuff, like DMV wise, is usually in whole numbers, like
Yeah.
50 cents, usually.
Property taxes.
Yeah, but then if there's an interest or whatever, then that throws it off. And then we can get some pennies. Just remove it. It keeps wanting us to reboot. Taylor just rebooted.
Don't know.
You were good with all these, like,
I am.
You can set it, so it's going into sleep mode, is that what it's?
No, it's asking to reboot.
Supposed to have an update again.
Taylor did one last night, but it's.
Good, he's done.
Yesterday again.
Oh, yeah. And you were doing it last night.
Ready?
We give these to Katie first so she can make sure I'm all signed.
All right, thank you.
Okay, ready to move on to wages, salaries and benefits while we wait for Caleb.
Let's do this.
Oh, sorry. Thanks, Don.
Move to,
You said
move
it.
to approve this.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the claims as presented. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Don,
Yes.
Robin,
Yes.
Lynn,
Yes.
Okay, now I can go to 13.
Yes, she may.
I didn't see Caleb yet. And just take him when he gets here.
All right, I think that's.
I did tell him 11.
No problem.
Item 13, wages, salaries and benefits. And where you want to start with these? We need to, sometime before, or on January 8th, we need to set the officials that kick in on January 2027. And we also need to set, I'm thinking, a base pay for our road department, so we get onto that table that Dawn made,
Correct.
make sure we're all on with that.
So we just need to start, basically, all you'd have to do to reformat that is add one number and reconfigure, so we just did.
I couldn't find my chart Dawn gave us. I know you gave it to us.
Should be,
I couldn't
man.
find it. It is. Okay. I guess in looking through the payroll, just a couple questions I had to clarify on, the cash in lieu. How is the cash in lieu figured on how much we pay employees that don't take the insurance? How do we figure cash in lieu?
I have some recent experience with it, so it's $325 for an individual policy and $650 if you go on a family policy. I remember that's what it was.
Right.
And so like when you go off, you know, if a spouse gets insurance, you can do the cash in lieu with the county based on whatever you had established. Or if you retire, when you go on Medicare retirement,
Right.
you can do the same thing. You have to specifically ask, I found out, what you want. But, you know, it puts you on that. And that saves, anytime you have an employee has options for insurance, if they can pick the best policy, you can't make them change, but that's an incentive to get those folks to consolidate into one policy, which they should have. And it's about 40% of the cost for the
Right.
policy. So it
So-
saves us money.
But how is the 325 and the 650 figured? Is that just a number we
Just the
set?
number they picked, it was picked.
So if our insurance policy goes down, should the cash in lieu go down?
It's well
Because
under,
right
It's
now,
well under,
we're,
it's almost half of what,
less of, you know, of the cost. So even if it went down some, it
cut it
is
in
quite
half
frankly.
from what it used to be.
Right.
Yeah, they cut it in half from what it used to be because they wanted to give us a raise, and so they moved the cut in half
Sure.
and put it into wages, and so, but it was twice as much before. So if that helps anything.
and I do believe those rates are in the handbook also.
say it again,
they're in the handbook.
Those numbers have been approved and adopted.
so our cash in lieu doesn't fluctuate with our insurance premium.
It's fixed.
It's fixed per the handbook, has been for some years.
And the HSA, how's that figured? I know the dollar amounts, I wanna know how it's figured. Is it a certain percentage of the health insurance premiums?
It's to, what the HSA was designed to do is to lower the deductible. So
I get all
they
that.
went higher deductible, and then they said, we'll give you this to cover a part of that. And essentially, it's a really good policy because it's a $6,000 single deductible. You got 4,500? What's in a single HSA? 3750?
It's 35,
The single is two something,
A month.
right, family is 416 something.
That's
416.67 is the family, single is 208.34.
So the 2,600.
Right.
And it was designed, that's
No,
why.
I know
we
why
did
it's designed, but I'm wondering why that doesn't fluctuate with our, when our insurance changes. Like our insurance went down for an employee, like $200. And why these don't fluctuate with that?
Again, it's arbitrary, as near as I can tell, but it's fixed for every.
So the HSA is fixed as well.
This one.
It's not a
It's not a
percentage of the
No.
deductible.
No,
I just wanted to know how we got to those numbers. And
that's based on actually somebody's before any of us were.
That's correct. It's just
But
enough.
I think that's kind of how they looked at it.
And so we're still in the same ballpark with those figures. I guess is what I'm asking, since our insurance changed and then Nick was able to get us better coverage.
I think it's relevant still.
I think it's fair and relevant. I still do.
I haven't done that.
For what it is, I don't think it's out of line whatsoever.
Okay.
It's one of those,
Questions that I had.
it's one of those not broke
Yeah.
things. It's working, and there doesn't seem to be an issue with it, good or bad, so.
Mhm. And I guess I'm more on the inclination to try and get them on the county health insurance. So that helps everyone. But yeah, I get it. So do we want to attack, say, the official salaries now, or do you want to attack, since we have Eric here, maybe we could attack the road
Let's do that.
base pay, that way we could knock that down?
Sure, do that.
Want to do that?
I do. Where do we come up with?
I mean, we don't have to vote or anything, they want to get numbers.
I do have one thing I would like to ask about, I've come up with it. We do our wages and stuff. I know that we only have allowance for comp time for being 20 hours in the handbook. I would like to move our road guys up a little bit.
Explain to me comp time.
Comp time is when our guys are working overtime, days off, overtime, and then they are supplemented into time off, compensated time. Instead of paying overtime,
Gotcha.
I kind of would rather not pay our guys over. I would like to have an option if they want to, let's say we have a new person coming in, they can't get overtime, we have a snowstorm, but yet they have an emergency where they have to go to the doctor. Now they're covered under comp time until they have enough time to take a day off. Or you know where I'm going with that, for sick time. I don't want to, I think the state might have 100 and some hours that you can carry over, maybe 170. I don't think we need really that much. But because at one time it was like a free for all, Mark might be able to understand that. I mean, where people had thousands of hours that they had to pay out. I don't think, I would like to see our guys. Now, on that note, I would make sure that it has to be on the people of the department head, which should be me, on what they get,
Comp time?
you know, comp time or overtime. But I'd like to see the guys who don't have a lot of vacation time actually be able to use that for family stuff when they come on a Saturday or Sunday, plow snow or fire or whatever. We have guys do that.
And what would your suggestion be, from 20 hours to 40?
40 or 80, depending. But that's up to you guys. As of some certain counties, they have all the way up to like 120.
And I think at one point we were in that
We were
ballpark,
higher before, yeah.
and we lowered it down because there was some,
Abusing. Yeah, and I like to kind of keep my budget line item mentally, that I don't have to budget for overtime for, guys being working snow days. Like sometimes if a guy's gone, because we plan for 40 hours, if he's missing one day, a Friday or a Monday, it's not a big huge detriment to our budget, because we're right in that line. So if the guy misses a day, I'm not worried about that. You know, because it's basically a vacation day.
And you track the comp time, or you and Chelsea track the comp time as well as sick hours on vacation and
Yep.
all of that. How many sick hours do we bank?
I'd have to look at the handbook on it.
Sorry.
I don't know.
Do you want me to go get my handbook?
Sorry, my handbook's not handy right now.
I don't.
There.
I have one here, Casey. Well, it's old.
I don't think that would change.
I think it's,
And it was 240? I was just curious, like,
yeah, I'd have to look, I apologize.
I'm pulling that off.
Don't you also need to think about budgeting of that? That's,
Yes.
that was one of our concerns. Not bigger.
There was,
Yeah, because I believe that comp time had to be a payable item.
Yeah, so it was a
So-
concern that it's not budgeted for.
The
Yeah.
other thing is if somebody quits and they have comp time, you have to pay them out for it,
Right.
plus their sick time.
At
and all
time
that.
and a half.
And
Yeah,
does,
that's how it
does the
And
county
track
have
that
money to be able to do something?
when
with that
it was-
If they have 80 hours banked.
Yeah,
plus
so
vacation and sick.
for 6 months.
That's
240.
240.
which I'm glad you guys did that, because if somebody breaks a leg outside, they at least have 6 weeks.
What's our vacation?
153 for vacation.
How much?
153.
So the other thing is too, we're gonna be tracking, doing a better job of overtime, you know, because every once in a while Jay will have a 4 or 5 hours, right? Not a big,
It's every,
yep, so we're working on, different scheduling on some of that stuff, so we're gonna we're gonna get that down, but if Jay's accumulating that many hours, right? But if Jay's, I'm just using Jay, let's say an employee, I'm not gonna put a name out there. If an employee is maxed out on sick and on vacation, then as a department head, I am going to deny all comp time accrual. Because if he's already maxed out, then I'm not gonna give a bonus for having more time off that they're not already using. Right? I mean, but I don't know in the handbook if it says approved or denied by department head.
what was our comp time? Did you?
just,
It should.
I get too many
It
numbers.
just should, but I'm not
Too
sure if
many
it
numbers
does.
in
I
there.
just wanna make sure I'm not misspeaking. Yeah, so,
Can I move that podium? I'm sorry, can I move the podium? Is it all right, guys, mind if I move the podium? Yeah, then I can
Please.
see Casey.
and that's all, it was just an idea, Yeah, we've been, there's quite a few counties out there right now. I know, I'll just use Sarpy County, where I came from, on the eastern side. They do not give overtime at all. It's all comp only. Because they don't wanna pay time and a half for their employees, but they would give them time and a half days off.
Well, how much comp time can they bank? Because
As
there's like
much as
Kate
the
said,
state
if
would
they quit
allow,
leave.
170 some hours, whatever the state statute, whatever the new statute was, that the state came up with.
So they bank 150 hours comp time, then they quit and leave, we have to pay them time and a half for 150 hours. comp time.
We don't pay them time and a half.
Is that
They only.
You just pay them regular time.
regular time?
Yeah, it's just regular time
Just
up to
regular time all the way
150
across the board.
hours.
That makes sense.
So you don't have to pay the time and a half, they just get the hours. So if they take, if they work 10 hours of time off, on a day
I
off. they
understand,
get-
they've worked the hours to get comp time.
Right.
That's what it is.
Right.
It's a due, yeah, it's a due thing to the,
It's kind of a, I don't know if it's a benefit, but I like it to where if a guy has a water line break, you can use comp time
bring
instead
your
of
guys to
vacation.
comp time.
I just want to bring that up, just let's think about.
We'll
you guys
work on
do
that.
Think about it a little bit, because 20 hours is, well, and during the summer, it's only 2 days.
Yep.
And, or if we're working 5 days, 20 hours is kind of an odd number.
So, let me get this right. 40 hours in a week. They work 60 hours, and we'll only have to pay them straight time if we use comp time, but we have to pay them time and a half if we use.
Overtime.
Overtime.
Seriously?
Yeah.
But you had one employee that was at 3,000 hours.
Am I wrong at that? But I think I'm right.
Right.
That's why I would prefer comp time, because it's always regular time across the board, no matter what. But if,
Are the hours they earn time and a half per
but
hour?
the hours they earn are, so if you work 10 hours, you get 15 hours of comp time.
Oh, okay, so that's time and a half.
Yeah, it's time and a half, but we don't actually have to pay it out. They just use it.
Right,
We don't have to monetarily pay it out.
but you do if they leave.
Yeah.
So it's an unfunded liability ultimately.
And you
Yeah.
technically speaking, aren't you still paying them time and a half because you're giving them the extra hours and then you're paying for those extra hours? So you're still,
Well, you're still paying them, it just comes out of the budget differently, because we already budget for 40 hours a week.
Don't look at it one.
So regardless, they're making 40 hours, they just might have more time off. It's more of a perk of like vacation, kind of. In my opinion, but
So how's that reported if we do it that way? This year, if you got overtime, you're gonna fill out an extra form for the IRS, and the overtime is not gonna be taxed.
They have not let us know yet
I know.
on that, so
But
I
it's
don't.
gonna happen.
No, we know that, but they have not told us how it's gonna happen yet.
because I guess what's our policy on rolling over vacation? Just because I don't have it.
There's a maximum.
So it'd be the same concept of that, is technically you're rolling over time. Correct? I mean, that's kind of.
Yeah, but a straight time.
Right. Yep. So if an employee, so I'm just trying to do the math.
You're trying to save the county I don't mean to interrupt, I just want, you're trying to save the county the overtime by doing this.
Yeah, even though they get the time and a half on day, basically you're giving them a half a day off by working a full day. But actually you give them a day and a half. So if they're working Saturday, they get a day and a half, so they can take Friday and half a day Monday for working, for working a Saturday. You know, let's say we have that. So that's what it would be technically, right? I mean, I know in Nebraska math's not that good, but.
Tell me your months that you work 10 hours. Do you know?
Well, we really haven't come across with that because we, usually it's spring and late fall. Depends, well, when the hours change, that's usually a good time because the days are getting long enough. So we'll adjust it to how many hours, we wanna make sure that they're not, that's why we switch. Cause the guys were starting in the dark and ending in the dark. We'd like them to be done before dark. Yeah, if possible.
So how many hours of comp time would you want to bank?
A week would be fine. I mean, just an additional 40. I mean, that's up to you guys. I mean, I don't think we should let them bank like vacation, because if you have a guy hurt, if you have an employee who has 150 and then 200 hours of vacation and comp, they could take a couple months off. Right? So we don't. So here's my question to you guys is, would you guys rather have them take days off or pay them an extra 25 hours let's say we have a blizzard, right? I mean, we're gonna have snow here shortly. Would you guys rather let them have 4 days off? Or would you guys rather pay them time and a half for the days that they are working? I mean, there's a slippery slope.
It is, because it could really impede your ability to do. Okay, so I guess when we wrote that, we did shorten this up quite a little bit originally when we first sat down at one of our very first meetings. And we did shorten that up. So the gamble of it is, you know, the cost for the overtime is one thing. The comp time, it could really damage your crew's ability to move forward if you have everybody kind of taking the same comp time. And you could have some really dead weeks when we should be running routes or otherwise.
Right.
My take off the cuff, you asked, my take off the cuff is we expand the comp time slightly, but I really don't have a problem paying overtime, if we are moving snow or otherwise. That's the gamble.
Right, and I'm okay with all that. We've never really had a good conversation about that, so that's just, I want to bring it up during.
And it is, and I understand you're trying to save the money, but what I'm concerned about is shorting crew, when you've got projects that we need to be doing.
So the only thing that I've ever made very clear to the guys, and you guys don't know this, but I've made very clear to my staff that if we have a project that is planned, if there's a medical emergency, that's fine, but if we plan it, that's, you guys are not allowed to take the comp time within, or vacation within a certain time, because we're scheduling around now. I know things happen, as they always do, but.
And that's per discretion by you at that point.
So,
We paid almost, when I went back and did the math, we paid almost $5,000 in overtime last year to our two road employees. Not any of the rest, but just two of them. And I thought we were gonna cut back on the overtime.
Well, you're gonna have cases where it's gonna be needed.
and unfortunately, so Jay would be one of the foreman, I'm sorry for the names. There would be two foremans, right, and myself, well, not really myself, but there's two foremans who, if there is a big storm coming in on Saturday, their job is to go out and check roads. You know, so do we allow them to?
And I suppose every month it'll have something.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't been
Well-
on our road in a month.
And sometimes it's not just going out and checking roads. It might be working on a piece of equipment that's sitting on the roadside. It could be.
I get
It
that.
could be something, but as of a department, we are working forward on moving, adjusting that, overtime is gonna be shortened if it's not 100% necessary. That makes sense, I guess.
It does, and
I wanna
that's
try
the
to say that
direction
right
we
way.
need to be taken.
Well, if we get more employees.
And as we get more employees, that
Because
should
we're
alleviate some of
short-handed,
that.
number one.
So you've got to look at a percentage of the overtime if you had additional people. That may not be.
And we may be able to address, actually, I don't even know what full staff really is. I really don't. As of, being here since May, I don't really know what actual full staff of the county is.
There's also, places like in this particular case here, to where when the tractor and mower went out, that extra 1 or 2 hours per day spent mowing could complete the task versus having a tractor drive back and then drive out. So
Same with your maintainers.
there's a savings to, yes, it costs in time and a half, but as far as
Roading it all the way back.
as far as efficiency, we are, it was a move ahead to do that. So it's pretty much a per case basis to get there.
Because we have a few employees who would rather have a little bit more time off because of family, right? It doesn't really need the monetary side. That's why I'm coming to you guys on this. It was brought to my attention that they would like to see a little bit more because they would like to see that part of it compensated instead of on the check. And
Where do you want the thoughts on comp time?
On comp time, we're currently at 20 hours.
Is it something we
What did you
discussed in our
suggest,
meeting
Eric?
and
I'm
bring it to
sorry.
the board?
Too many numbers went past me for comp time.
it's on the discretion of you guys, but I would like to just make it an hour. It's either a week or two.
1 week would be 40.
Yeah,
Right?
40 or 80 hours, depending on what you guys.
I think that's a positive move.
Well,
Thoughts?
20 is not very many,
40s.
in my mind.
It was fun.
Yeah.
You like 40?
I don't have any problem with 40.
We do have a little less than 80 vacation for the first year, 80 vacation for year 2 through 6, on top of, I believe, 80 hours of sick time. So that's also something to think about. That's how many weeks of.
80 hours of, that's 6 weeks of vacation time.
If they would to acquire that much. Now, the only time that we're going to start applying overtime, in my opinion, because I even want to knock it down to where, because it's not always, every week we're having something, right? I mean, it needs to be an emergency type
Calls,
response.
call outs, flooding.
Yeah, because other than that, all the guys should be back at the end of the day on time. And if it's an inconvenience thing, then that's what we're gonna have to do, because sometimes you guys know schedules, it's not always the most efficient thing to do what we do, right? I mean,
The nature.
it's just the nature of the beast, whether you're, it just seems like we've been running in a lot of overtime, in my opinion. And I haven't seen any snowstorms, or I understand when we do have instances that will occur, but it just seems like it's kind of an ongoing thing. Where I don't see an instance where, I mean, are you guys wanting to pay? I don't, and you're okay with overtime, and that's, I'll get used to it, because I'm not used to giving guys overtime, I'm used to giving guys comp time.
Comp time.
But that's a rarity also, I mean, so it's still not a weekly thing that guys are requiring that. So, and that's up to you guys. We can leave it at 20, that's fine, however you like it, I mean, because I think we have a couple.
I think we take it back to the handbook at this point, and then we'll present it, but I think we discussed 40 hours. If I've heard that, everybody kind of nodded their head yes, so I think we'll move to the 40 and.
Okay. Thank you for that, I just,
Put that into the, and you can use that as you see fit.
okay,
What page are you on, Casey, with the 1 year? For what? The content?
And 1 year is this and 2 years that. I think it's on Don's table, but I don't know.
Oh, for the road department scam?
Where's Don Ray, right?
Around 35, if you're looking at the. Yep.
Where you at, Don? I'm looking for you.
What's the question?
I was looking for your table for
Oh,
employees.
are you talking about pay or vacation?
You looking for pay scale or vacation, Robin?
Pay scale?
salary schedule.
It's on 35.
35.
I don't think I have the current.
Got that.
If you have the one from 24, it should also be in there.
What's that?
So that's got a built-in 2.5% raise, is what it is
So we basically,
for the base.
we're discussing the base pay being different, correct?
Yep, you'd be operator 1, operator 2,
Yep.
base 1, base.
So and then these are years here, right? Right on, like 1, 2, 3. So these are the base pay, and then the more years you're here, this is how you move up.
Right.
So who would be one of our operator ones? Just,
Probably Shannon.
I'm sorry?
Oh, well, Shannon's at, just under, I think he's like 19 something. So,
New guy's gonna be,
yeah, the new guy would be the operator 1.
So he started in June of 23. He's been here 2 years. And he's at 1794. And he should be at 1748 at least. 2 years, isn't that bad? So
Really, all
Yes, but-
all you've got to worry about doing is just changing your base pay and it'll formulate across.
Right.
there's another aspect to that. And I don't know if you've done this, Eric, but most places will allow the supervisor to place them on a salary schedule that is appropriate for their experience and time.
Okay.
I don't know if we do that, but it's okay with me. I mean, sometimes you hire a guy that's so dang qualified, you wonder where he's been all his life. And, to put him on at 1750 isn't going to get him to hire.
Cause there's a few counties out there right now that have a flat rate. Whether it's, you've been here 1 year or 15 years, I like the scale you guys have. Going because if someone's been here 15 years and a guy's been here 1 day, they make the same, that's pretty non.
So what do we need to do with this? Do we want to make a motion as to what we're thinking about for our big,
We have till January.
so we don't have to do it today?
No, we don't have to do it today. This is our chance to talk about it and see
Okay.
what you're thinking about numbers.
Well, Kimball County, has a, road department labor starting base pay at $19.50 an hour.
And that's where I think we need to be.
And we are at 17, and I will not disagree with you. I think that is where we need to be.
That's gonna push some of these, Jay's gonna be making $26 an hour. We need to figure out a way to compensate on those at that time. I mean, do we want to put him
Well,
on
then
the
you're too
schedule
foreman because you're
or as a
you're
boardman?
kind of,
Well, you're
they've
gonna-
been here for years.
So
and
if you
you're kinda-
just, if you formulated everything across, so if you went from base one at 17 to 19, for example, and then the base two at 17.50 to 19.50, and base salary foreman from 18.50 to, that'd be 20.50, and then they would go back into the chart from there, and then it's even and it's fair across the board.
And then you should cap out at some point in time.
It
You
does,
can't-
it caps at 10
You
years.
can't work here 10 years and be at $50 an hour.
No, you cap at
Your
10,
own
you
business.
cap at 10
Longevity
years.
eventually doesn't matter.
So I have Kimball County
Count.
Road Department labor starting 19.50 to 23.75 per hour.
So I would say we move that $2 per hour across the board.
19, didn't you say that, Marlon?
So you'd go to 19, you'd go to 19.50, you'd go to 20.50.
Can I have this?
Sure.
Say it again, then.
Just add $2 to every one of those.
So 19 here.
You go 19.50,
19.50. Gotta adjust my vitals.
and you go 20.50 for your
Police
base.
salary foreman,
So that'd be your base salaries.
20. So would that,
So and then that'll populate out for the years that it's,
yeah, I got that.
okay.
I'm thinking about 10.
It should be the same for him.
Right, but he's behind the 8 ball because we capped him at $23 an hour. We never increased him. He doesn't get vacation, he doesn't take overtime, and your other foreman does.
Is that accurate? We
Accurate
better, we
compared to-
better work that out.
I can show
He
you right
did
here.
what? He should be on the same as Jay.
He's not getting the same schedule.
He should be.
No, let me pull it up here.
Jay got 3 raises last year.
Yeah, and Tim got 0.
Yeah, and Tim didn't get any, but Jay got.
That's what I mean, we've got to get this.
I don't know what you guys did, I don't know. I just know that it's fast. You did that.
And I have raises highlighted on here as well. So this is your shop foreman.
So they can only have.
No overtime.
Vacation, they can only have so much vacation.
No holidays. He started picking up holidays in 25 for holiday pay. There's no comp time. He doesn't take overtime.
Per month, it's just a total.
And then if you go to your other foreman,
When did he start back to work?
2023.
Well,
right after Vicky
the
got
salary-
home. He was only
The
gone
fairest
6
thing,
months.
the fairest thing you can do there, based upon that, is add $2 to that thing you're there.
That's just stupid.
So he got a raise here. And that's the only one I show for that one.
July of 24 to through 25, we've had.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when we do a cost of living raises, with that start, I'm gonna start those, Katie, the start of the budget.
Well, I don't know with the road department, because with that pay scale, you guys changed it. We used to do it January 1st of every year.
So we
It
don't do
should be
that.
the same
That's
time.
on their
But
anniversary.
then you guys said you wanted to change it to their anniversary date, so I'm not sure when it's supposed to start and when it's. So that
Unfortunately.
was the other thing with the cost of living increase. I put just elected officials, but I don't know, does that count for the hourly road guys too? Because
Because it's figured in the salary schedule.
historically, it's always been January first, but with that pay scale, you guys changed it, so I didn't know when those are actually supposed to start.
Well, we talked about doing that on the budget year versus the calendar year, but that's problematic.
Yeah.
The calendar year just works.
If you do budget year, you're gonna be doing back pay for 3 or 4 months.
Yep, yeah, it just, so,
To address our weed superintendent shop foreman, I would say we're gonna have to increase that by $2 an hour.
But you
because
already
we
did
gave
that,
you,
you already did that here for your other foreman.
I get that, but that's when we go back to the other one.
we did that when we appointed him as weed superintendent. Right. Changed that. You're right, it's just a matter of, raise for both jobs.
It's job, so $2 would be your,
Gotta think about that.
because you're,
Yeah,
there's still an inequity there.
Then you're tapped out.
Well, the tap out didn't matter. The
You'll change, that number will
Different.
change as it reformats, so that.
the
number will be
difference
higher.
Oh, yeah, true
between,
So that it doesn't really.
It'll go to
count
24.
or whatever. But, so I would recommend that's,
here's the deal, we can always add more classification.
Well, then I don't think.
And
we
honestly,
have
if we're
one
gonna
for-
pay by the hour, the road superintendent, he should have his classification as well. Right? I mean, if we're doing that by the hour, he's gotta be on there somewhere.
You're not giving me a headache.
thank you.
Just gonna say it.
Let's address that.
So do we want to,
I think it was good discussion.
do you wanna play with some numbers and come back with those on
Yes.
January eighth?
Yep.
Do we have wages and salaries? All that on January eighth?
January eighth, you guys wanted me to put the resolution for the next term on there.
Right, that's officials, I'm talking employees.
I can put it.
Would you put it on there, please, so that we can,
So, where are we gonna be on the officials? So,
Let's start on that because we've got the officials and everything else too, that's gonna have to have the same stuff.
Can I add
We're
something
saying
to the
Caleb?
department pay scale?
nice to meet
Looks
you.
like Caleb.
Shall we have Caleb?
Sure.
I'm good with that as well.
Can I add something real quick for the road department pay scale on the, so if we're doing the pay scale, so it's all right in the handbook, can we have one for part-time and full-time? Just so there's no,
I
So the
think-
courthouse is kind of on a,
well, no, just so I have both pay scales for full-time and part-time in the handbook.
On the road department,
On the
yeah.
road department, because that's one thing that's not currently in
Yeah.
the handbook that we do need to update in the handbook is the part-time salaries,
Right,
wages, not salaries. Yeah.
wages and benefits. Cause we've had that 30-hour question.
Yeah, we have that.
So,
Okay. All right, I was going to,
okay, so we want to, you
yeah,
guys will put some numbers together, come back on,
well, I think the numbers, I think we pretty
January
much
8th.
have I think we have a discussion with the road stuff anyway, but we still need to take care of the courthouse.
we
and
talked
does
a
the
little bit
road
after.
fall into just the personnel policy, like, do you just update that and we approve that? Or do we have to typically technically do the wages?
We'll have to do the wages and set it in, and then it becomes,
Probably approve your scale.
we'll have to approve the scale, and then it goes into the handbook and becomes effective when we approve it. Won't be
Okay.
effective until it's done, is that accurate?
Well, once you approve the scale.
Once you approve the scale, it's done, but, and then it's added to the handbook thereafter. Got it.
Got it?
Yep.
Is that right?
Yep, so
So we come to, on the eighth with
we
this
come back on
$2.
the 8th with that, with a,
It'll be set for January of 2026.
Can we work on this scale and either send it through Katie or through Mark to each one of us so that we can look at that before January 8th?
I think I've got my arms around it right now. I mean, if we're gonna
Okay,
have.
good. All right, so that works. Let's do, Caleb will hop back to your
Okay.
agenda item if you're good with that.
That works.
Do you need a podium?
Probably.
We can pull it back out. Oh, and by the way, this
Hey,
meeting,
nice to meet you as well. You have a slight apology. Okay, I have a slight apology for you, trying to multitask. I left a copy of your budget and an example of how I put a budget together on my office desk. So I do have my computer with me that, in lieu of that, if you have an HDMI cable, I can plug that into your TV, give you an example of that to give you a better feel for that. So I guess one of the big questions, I have probably just about as many questions for you as you probably do for me. Robin had reached out to me pertaining to some issues with your budget. I talked about that with the state auditor's office. Didn't get, I don't have all the information because until they disclose that to you, that information has not been made public yet, where it will be in a couple months. So out of respect to your privacy and the board's privacy, Jeff has not given me any comments. I do have a copy of the budget as it was submitted and noticed a couple things in there. But in terms of any issues, stuff like that, I'm not aware of them at this point. So just so you're aware of either, what I have been made aware of, what I haven't been made aware of. But I do have a proposal put together for you, but I figure probably a more appropriate stance is, what questions do you have of me? And then so forth, and then probably lead to the questions that I have within the budget, but I don't want to get the cart in front of the horse and have you be like, dude, here's our question, and 45 minutes later, you're still rambling on stuff we don't care about. So I guess what questions do you have of me?
I guess our problem, Caleb, is our budget, we got a letter from the state auditor.
Okay.
And we need to audit our budget for this year.
Okay.
And we tried to audit our budget for last year with some errors.
Okay.
And we couldn't.
Okay. Okay.
We need someone that knows the budget.
Okay.
Because we know what the numbers are. And we know what needs to be fixed. I was talking, this is Kathy Natali, she's our treasurer.
How are you doing, Kathy?
And this is Katie West, she is
How
our
are you doing,
clerk.
Katie?
And behind you is Casey,
How are you
she
doing,
is
Casey?
our assessor.
Okay.
Anyway, we've been working on this together and we know what the numbers are, we know what needs to be fixed. We
It's just
cannot do it.
Getting there. Okay. Okay.
We need some powers that
Okay.
need to help us with that.
Nope, and a comment that I will make in reviewing the budget that was submitted. I think you've got a couple things that are competitive, that we could take out. For example, one of the things that I remember off the top of my head is we have all the valuation certificates for all the various districts. I could actually consolidate that down into one page. It still passes muster and so forth, but it would help simplify your budget considerably. In fact, can I use this TV? Is there HDMI? Can I pull that out of this laptop or is that your live stream?
I think that would affect our
Okay.
live stream.
Well, then never mind. What I may do,
I have a laptop here if you.
either that or do you mind, I have all my county budgets that I have right here. If you don't mind me printing one of them off, it'll be I hate to say it, I would say it's a shoddy example, but it would give you a better sense of what I'm talking about on certain things. Would that be possible?
I guess my question is you can help us.
Oh, yes. Yep. So what I've been told in my discussions with the state so far, you're dealing with some of the same issues that Platte County was dealing with. Now, the great news is it's on a much smaller scale. I don't feel bad about saying this because it's public knowledge. Platte County's budget has been messed up for about a decade. So, well, in fact, how many, do any of you know Valerie Bell?
Yes.
Okay, so I kid you not, I was up to razz Val a little bit and I had a ball cap and a polo on instead of the suit, and she didn't recognize me at first. And, she does not do seafood at all. So when I was told to take her out for sushi, she's like, what? And she goes, oh, it's like, Caleb, you look awful today. I said, well, I look different, but I don't think I look that bad. And found out that their treasurer is Jenny Repper. So the story comes out, and she goes, I don't know who the poor moron was that took on Platte County's budget, but they just have to be stupid to do that. And it was after I'd done their amendment. And I was like, well, Val, you are looking at said moron. So it is totally doable. I think the good news is it's half of it's knowing the format to go in, half of it is knowing where to go get the information, that if there's a problem, to dig deep enough to get down to it. So I don't want to sound arrogant, but am I confident I can do that for you? Yes.
And in asking around to the other counties, I'm like, who can we get to help Banner County with their budget? We need help beyond what we can do. Caleb Johnson. Then I asked somebody else, Caleb John. Caleb is the name that kept popping up, so that's why I called him. Cause I don't know, how many counties do you do in Nebraska?
You would be 22, and I have another one that wants me to meet with him at the end of January, so it'd be 23.
And I feel like we have numbers and stuff we can share with Caleb. I will share with him all the research we've done, which might lessen his job a little bit.
No, any of that helps. The good news of all that is I'm very conscientious of time allocation and so forth. So I am very appreciative that you're approaching me now versus I had one, well, when I took on Sheridan County, I got a call from them July 27th because their budget preparer like abruptly terminated the agreement. So knowing that, I can have all the pieces of that puzzle built in play and we were ready to go. When I talked to Jeff Schreier, I am 99% certain we're gonna have to do an amendment to clean some stuff up. The good news is, been down that road before, I do about 8 amendments a year now.
Okay.
So,
Will you be working in here with us at all, or just be?
a majority of it would be remote, in that data collection. But one of the things that I do, and part of where I do that balance of time is I do a budget workshop where I come to your county. My methodology and system, everything will update in real time. So when I was a commissioner about 8 years ago, one of the big things that I noticed is we'd work on our budget and then budget guy would have to put that into the system. We are constantly printing out copies of the budget. So my thought was do it to where you can update that thing in real time and you can make decisions a whole lot faster. So, but one of the big things that I'm a firm believer of is I take calls throughout the year. It's a lot easier to put that fire out when it's a small fire than, after the fiscal year is done. And you're like, well, that would have been great to know 3 weeks ago. I know other preparers that will charge by the phone call, which I think is ridiculous because what happens is people quit calling. And then all of a sudden, instead of 1 or 2 problems, you have 30 problems all accumulated. So it's like a phone call I did this morning. I would much rather have that dialogue through the year, or if it's an account code or something else, to have that open communication. It makes my job easier. It will make your product better. So I highly encourage that. Did that answer your questions? Or I'm assuming your county. Okay. Nope, that worked. Well, because I have to ask, are you related to a Jim Kavoric by chance?
Which Jim? There might be more than one.
Well, the one that I went to college with. He would be 48.
No, more like 15.
Okay, maybe his brother, right? Now, I saw the last name and I don't see it that often. I was like, I wonder if there's a relation there somewhere.
We can see if it's the same one. He's 9.
Okay. But,
6.
okay. But did I answer your question?
You did.
Okay.
You did, yeah,
Okay.
but is that, sometimes when you're unaccessible,
Yep.
you're just kind of stuck. I mean, we're all started new.
Yep.
We're all in 23.
Yep.
And whole new. And so there's a lot of stuff that we have learned by mistake, and sometimes make things a lot better than ever before. So anyhow, just wanted to know, because it does really helped to be able to talk to somebody.
Sure. No, and I think one of the things that I pride myself on, is with the number of counties that I've worked with. I try, if whatever I'm telling you doesn't make sense, to just stop me in my tracks and be like, we don't know what you said, we think you just had a stroke, explain that. Well, cause I've seen preparers who they'll talk in circles, and at the end of the day, you still don't have your question answered, and you're going, he used a lot of words, have no clue what they said, but they used a lot of words to get there.
Yep, I don't like hanging up and saying, what did he just say?
Yeah.
Nothing, I know nothing, so, yeah. That's
What's worse is when you hang up, you're like, I am now 3 IQ points dumber for having that
That's true.
conversation.
That happens too. Thank you though.
You bet, you bet.
So how do we go about hiring you?
I have an engagement letter. I have the original. I'm going to give the chair. Okay,
Today,
there's the original, but then I did make copies for everybody's review.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Yes. And by dumb luck and I have one for everybody today. So here's what I'm proposing. I'll tell you, I do not use the MIPS system. There are components of the overall system that I will use to compile your information. But one of the big things that's probably a difference in my methodology is when it comes to compiling your data, I pull that from different sources. And the reason I do that is if there's any discrepancy, it doesn't keep carrying forward. One of the things that you'll notice in a budget workshop is there are certain things that I have designed to break the system intentionally. My predecessor used everything was automated, everything pulled through. The problem that is, let's say you have a mistake in one worksheet, it can start replicating, and the next thing you know, you have a compounding issue. Yep. Well, for example, I'm gonna pick on Brown County. So when I took them on, it said their total resources available was $78 million. And I was like,
That'd be nice.
oh, yeah. Well, I called the treasurer and it was like, Deb, what's your average cash on hand? About 4 million. You know, your budget documents is 78 million. And what had happened is it started out as a mistake in one area and it just kept compounding. So it takes a little bit more time, but to me, it also helps glean out a more effective and efficient product than if there's a mistake. In fact, what I can do is the way that your budget compiles on my methodology is you have the budget document you see, the other half of that is a series of worksheets that information pulls from 2 different data sources. That way, if that budget is off a penny, I can find it. One of the others, and I don't think I noticed this as much in your budget, is a lot of counties will do rounded figures, despise rounded figures. I like it to the penny. That way, if there's a problem, it's so much easier to find. You'll find I'm a very type A individual. If you want to see my eye twitch, have that budget be off a penny.
I've never used rounded figures.
Oh,
I can't in the treasurer's office. That would be a really big mess.
well, and it does. It leads to messes.
Yes.
So to get to the agreement, what I'm proposing, because to do any amendment work for the 25-26 budget, that is like, in my opinion, it's like you hire one electrician and they're trying to retrofit, you have no clue what you're gonna run into. So in fairness, what I've done for my other counties in this situation is I just do that by an hourly fee. It's $100 an hour, not to exceed $5,000 total. So for example, with Platte County, I did the exact same thing for them. The good news is, I think total fee to do their amendment was right around $2,800. So it was under that. But I figure that way, if you know you have that threshold, if there's anything above that, you don't have a surprise and going, well, we thought it was gonna be X. All of a sudden got a bill for $7,500 when we thought it was going to be lesser than that. There's a one-time rebuild fee of taking all the data from your budget, implementing it to my methodology, and that was $800. And that would just be the one time. You wouldn't have to do that year after year. that I did put in a proposal to do next year's budget with the option of extending that for a period of 3 years at the same price. So I try not to force.
Ability to get us back to be.
Okay. I try not to force any of my counties into a take it or leave it. So, I've had one that says, hey, we want to see how this first year goes. One that wants the stability. I try to leave that up to you. You guys know the dynamic in your county better than I do. And I found with all my counties, each one's like its own family unit, and not a single one of them are the same.
99% sure you can fix it. That's what you said, right?
I am 99.9% sure I can fix it.
Okay, 0.001. What happens if you can't fix it?
I'll call Jeff Schreier, we'll figure out how to fix it.
You'll get it
Yeah.
fixed, so it's 100% chance that we will get it fixed.
Yep.
Okay.
Nope, and that's one of the things I pride myself on. I have a great working relationship with the state. Were any of you at I was the LB 34 workshop, last year? Do you remember Jeff's quip? Cause we were talking along and he said, well, if you have a budget prepared that's not part of your county, it's crucial that you have communication. And here I am sitting in the front row and I did not know this was coming. And he looks at it and he goes, well, unless they're one of your accountants, Caleb, because we all know that you're a talker. And the neatest thing for me is it showed that Jeff actually does have a very personable side. It just takes a while to get there. So I called him up at the end of the meeting and I was like, you really think I'm a talker? And I will modify his exact comment, but he goes, oh, hell, Caleb, have you met yourself? But one of the things that I do appreciate is when there's a problem and there, mistakes are made. But my philosophy there is you reach out to the state, you say, hey, here's our problem. How do we go about unwinding it? It's much, in my opinion, it's much better to say, look, here's our issue, help us work through it versus trying to cover up, trying to hide it. They're going to find out anyway. So, and sometimes it's just a matter of saying, hey, here's our cluster bomb that we're dealing with. How do we go about fixing it?
You don't just call them and say, or when they call, say, I don't want to talk to you and hang up.
Oh, so here's
The
one.
IRS loves that.
No, here's one of the best. This happened a couple years ago. I was supposed to head to Nashville and my flight got delayed because of a blizzard. And it was December 26th. Had a question. It's like, I can't imagine anybody's even half the state. And normally Jeff always answers the phone. He goes, auditor's office, this is Jeff. And I called him up on the 26th and here's how he greeted me. He goes, why the hell are you calling me during Christmas break? I was like, it's the holidays. People get lonely. Just a mental health check, make sure everything's okay. And we had a great conversation. He goes, Caleb, I come in here because nobody bugs me between Christmas and New Year's. And when the phone rang, I didn't even have to look at the caller ID. I knew who it was. But again, it's a great resource to have that when things are going down and going sideways, you have somebody else to build in and say, hey, what's the best way of fixing this? So probably again, a long way to get to your answer of 100%. But yes, I'm confident we can get this fixed.
So we would still be actively involved in deciding how much.
Oh, yes.
How
Yep.
we spend.
Correct. So from that standpoint, I don't take any type of financial management or fiduciary. You are the decision makers. My job is A, make sure you're compliant, B, make sure it looks good, and C, abiding by, how you guys operate. I've had a couple boards that they try to push me into that financial consultant, and I push back just because at the end of the day, you are the decision makers for your county, not me. And as long as I have you compliant with the law, that's my biggest concern.
Good.
So,
Okay,
What do you want to do here? We need to do.
I don't think we have an
There's no
we've got to have some help above what we can do because we don't know how to fix this, so.
Make a motion to, Hired J13 Enterprises LLC, Caleb Johnson. I'm trying to figure out your fee schedule here.
So the one would be the build out of the 800.
So we're gonna do that, the one-time fee, second regular fee to compile budget documentation for 25,
Or it should be 26, 27.
26, 27.
Okay, so next fiscal year. But then the third piece
Third
is the
piece is to
amendment. for
fix the
this fiscal
amendment.
year.
So how are we gonna put that in?
So it's $100 per hour, capped at $5,000 to do all what you just said.
Well,
Okay.
to do
Get it fixed.
the fixing process. And then the 3,800 would kick in next fiscal year when we do budget year 26, 27.
Okay, so we're not gonna see the bill for 3,800 until the next budget cycle.
Correct.
Okay, so we're gonna pay the 800 and then we're gonna pay the 110 or $100 an hour.
Let's just make a
Up to-
motion to help him fix your budget.
That's all I gotta do?
That's the
And,
simplest
but
thing
then
you
do
can
you want to do that 30, is it 3,800 for the next 3 years?
Well, it'd be 3,800 for each fiscal year.
We don't have to decide that though today.
No.
Well, and that's, you'll notice, it's on page 3 of the engagement. There's the option to do that. Like whether you accept or decline.
Okay. So it'd be $800 plus $100 an hour, 5,000 cap to fix this budget and
To
get
fix
us
25, 26.
going with 25, 26, and then $3,800 each year, budget year after that to compare the budget.
Correct.
I withdraw my motion that I had started, Katie, sorry, and I will redo it. We will hire J13 Enterprises, Caleb Johnson, to fix our budget for the one-time fee of $800 to rebuild and reconfigure and $100 per hour, capped at $5,000 to fix fiscal year 25, 26.
And not the 3 year.
Well, we don't have to decide that today, correct?
You don't have to.
Okay. Now, let's see how we go with this to,
Okay, why don't just be, what I can tool, in fact, I have that, I can probably even get that cleaned up where it's just doing the amendment. And then the rest of that's not even in the proposal. Unless you wanted to do the 1 year, the 26, 27.
I think we should. I think we should do the 26, 27 at the same time.
Okay. Then, so here's how you do that. If you're not wanting to do the 3 year, you just decline on that option to extend for the next 2 fiscal years.
Okay. That's good.
Good to me. Second. Do you have to?
Okay. Now you want me to repeat that.
Yes, just as stated.
Been moved and seconded to hire J13 Enterprises LLC to configure and prepare our budget with a one-time fee of $800 to configure, and then $100 after that, capped out at $5,000 for the 25, 26 budget.
And then
And then
And then
The $2,800 for the 26.
for 26, 27.
the 26, 27.
Do you have that, Katie?
We'll get it.
But I got the,
Are you
I
good?
I can rewatch it too.
Are you good?
So look at that, I need to stand up here.
Are you good with that?
Yeah.
Is that,
And that, I think, and that, in my opinion, that gives you time to evaluate, to make sure that you like how I work, I like how you work, so that doesn't bother me to not do the 3 year at all.
but we're set for the next fiscal year.
Correct.
They're gonna clean us up for
Yep.
25, 26 and get us moving forward correctly to 27, 20.
26, 27.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, any further discussion?
I'll point out, yes, I'll point out that if it costs $5,100, we're still gonna pay the extra $100
because that's what it says in the contract. It actually says that's based on board. It's fixed unless the board approves the name.
Correct, okay,
And let me tell you something, if it's $100 to get it done.
okay. I'm pretty confident that it will be under the 5,000. Just because, again, Platte County's budget is not quite double your size. And pull that off, and it wasn't, I said, I think it was like 2,800, so.
You do audits for that, right?
I don't, oh, so I'm not a CPA. A lot of people think I'm a lawyer, a lot of people think I'm a banker, the third one, a lot of people think I'm a mortician. And I'm like, I'm cool with the first two, I'm not so cool with the third one. But no, I don't, Jenny, if you know Sandy Olson up in Keith County. Her comment, she goes, Caleb, you would have been a great auditor, everybody would have hated you, but you'd be good at it.
And that's kind of what we need. Do you want me to meet up with you somewhere and give you
Yep, sure can.
what we,
In fact-
the numbers that we've,
What else do you have
Together.
on your agenda for today? And, because what I'll probably do is rank both clerk and treasurer and get some of the reports that I will need to start rebuilding this.
I probably already have them.
Sweet.
I mean, you can, but I probably,
Okay.
because we've both
Okay,
been through these.
okay, nope. Why don't I'll just sit tight till your meeting is done
Okay, because we're gonna we head to Kearney for NACO after this.
and, okay,
Oh, today?
But I'll
That's
meet,
right.
Huh?
Sorry, never mind. I
because
just
I'm not gonna get up at
commented
3
out
o'clock
loud.
in the morning and drive to Kearney. John might, but
4
I'm
o'clock.
not.
Sorry, I just commented.
why, I don't know, Don, do you remember meeting me
Yeah,
about 2 years
absolutely.
ago?
Yeah,
Robin, if you guys need to
Are
go,
you
we
still
can get the
delegate?
reports.
That's a
We can
great
get the reports
question,
for
I'm
you.
not sure, I think so.
Yeah, I
but-
think he wants,
I had
I
my.
mean, I don't have all of them.
That's
Um,
okay, we can get them when
After the
he's
third
here, so.
cluster, it was.
No worries.
Okay. So I'll meet with you afterward to set up a date and time I can,
Okay,
and I'm happy to drive to Okalala.
okay,
I got friends there that,
that works.
that's
Do you have
actually,
friends?
Yeah, we can get you.
you know everybody, at least I have friends.
I'll be back.
That works.
That way you can get them.
I will give you this file
Did we
that might
vote?
be helpful to you. These are our
Did we
audit
vote?
reports for the
No, we
last.
haven't. We've got a motion and a second, no vote.
We were still discussing.
Oh,
I don't have any more questions, so,
Everybody good? Roll call vote, please.
Don,
yes.
Robin,
Yes.
yes.
Okay, I'll meet with you afterwards.
That works.
Is those helpful to you?
Probably to some degree, so,
If you can just give me back what you
okay,
want.
cool. Thank
Another
you,
day.
thank you for the opportunity and we will get her fixed.
And I'll meet with you. We're
Okay.
almost done here.
Okay, I will.
Do you have time?
Yeah.
Okay.
I will harass the rest of your courthouse and get to know people.
Okay. Do we want to tackle the official, like get some numbers thrown out there
I
for the
think it's-
official salaries
I-
today?
let's-
or-
Let's be thinking about it.
Let's
You don't
touch
have
on
to
to it.
finish.
I have a
Okay.
suggestion right
Okay,
off,
good.
right off the
Go
cuff.
for it.
Hold on, let me find mine. Did you look at that resolution?
I have.
Okay.
So my suggestion right off the cuff, if we are going to keep things, Banner County is the bottom for the sheriff's spot. Banner County is the bottom for just about everybody here.
Mhm.
My suggestion
that
today
wage
is
study?
22%.
Increase.
22%
Increase.
increase. Now, I'm not saying that's what we're gonna do, but that would be my suggestion.
Did you compare
That's-
them to the
So-
wage comparisons with the
I did.
NACO thing?
And,
That's what you come up
and
with.
that's,
I
this
have
is,
not done.
that does not take us. I mean, we might not be the bottom anymore, but we're not moving up to, we're in the bottom percentile
22% of what?
of the salary.
Of
Which,
last year's,
Well, they started
Official.
47,800.
So your
and then we
officials are starting at 47,000.
But we moved those, we increased those with cost of living every
2.5%.
year, so we have to figure out where
So
we're
is
at
everybody
today.
else. They're doing the
Right,
same
right.
exact thing that we're doing.
so
So
22% of
22%.
47? Or?
Well, you take, I'll use, if I may, Zane, I'll use yours. If we take 22% for Zane, that still does not put him.
So you're 56?
55,
50.
no, 56.
56. So
His
22
base when this started and maybe that's the way I should phrase it. Let me clean that up. Not from where we're at today. 22% from the base as to when the salary was set last time.
So,
Clarify.
so
And that's
50
probably
so say we're
right
the
in the
the
ball.
sheriff
That's probably
was at 54,000
at 54,000, so you add 22%
to the 54,000.
to the 54,000.
And Caleb had a comment on that,
And that still does
Just
not, that is not
5% every
excessive
year.
compared to what that's, Mark, that's,
but not necessarily give it because you have a disaster or whatever. You still got that padding, but yet, and that would be right about where you're at. But I'm thinking, because we don't know what the cost of living is gonna do every year. I mean, we come pretty close.
that would take like the sheriff's salary to 65, just under 66. And that does not put him where Kimball is at.
Oh, I understand.
That does not
I
put,
understand.
Well, Kimball's bigger and has more industries.
and
things going on as well.
I get that picture as well, but if we're competing, let's put it this way. We are competing against, for the same people, Kimball, Scottsbluff County, et cetera.
Certified officer is a certified officer.
No matter the county.
And they're at a premium.
What
Right.
does Sioux
You mean
County
like
pay?
the solar deputy or
I
something?
can't answer that, I didn't.
To me, Sioux County and Banner County are more comparable. Sioux County and, there's another county that's more comparable to Banner as far as population wise
And I agree with that, but
and
we're still,
resources wise, industry
we're
wise.
still competing against the same pool of people. You know, frankly, Zane can drive to Kimball and get paid more than what he's getting paid here, and we need to recognize that as a board. You know, exactly.
So you're saying we're competing with Lincoln as well?
No, I'm saying we're competing with, well, okay,
So, in
But-
some way.
but
Basically.
we are really competing against Scottsbluff and Kimball, and that's really where we're at. Sioux County, you know, they're fighting the same battle we are. Are we similar? Yeah, we're similar. I think you'll see that they are paying, more than what we are.
I don't know. I haven't.
I mean, I talked to some road employees up there, and I know that they are getting paid more than what we are doing, because they're running into the same issues that we have run into. So,
Part of it is replacement costs.
Sioux County is in this book.
what's that?
Sioux County officials are in this book,
Okay,
and they're, at 2022, they were at 52. Projected, they're at 67.
Which ones are you talking about, Katie?
Sioux County.
Sioux County.
Where-
So they're
where-
52, and you were at, for the same official, it was what?
Well,
40?
this is under the treasurer, because they only show treasurer on this.
Okay.
So we're at this resolution, when it first, for this term, was at 47.8.
They were
They are at
52.
52.
So,
They're
so when we
projected,
were at 47.8, they were at 52, not adding in.
right. And then if they do the benchmark with the slice, they will be at 67.
I mean, you said that's Sioux County.
That's
Treasurer.
funny.
And you said, what was the last one you did?
Sheriff's on
67.
45%.
And that's if they do
Based
the
on Sioux County,
slice.
so that's Sioux County.
Right, but in that book, whatever the treasurer's salary is, they had 125% for the sheriff.
So something you have to realize, if we don't have somebody enticed into taking these jobs, the only thing you can do is contract this, especially with law enforcement, is contract. You're gonna start paying the contract price well above what's in
What we're getting.
this net.
So let's take care of our people. That's my point.
So I had a question on, I'm just gonna use Katie for example, sorry. Katie's got county clerk, Princeton District Court, Register of Deeds, election commission, all of that. She has to have deputies under that for her. She don't have to, but deputies under that for her. In my mind, why are we paying Katie for 4 elected positions, which all come together under the clerk? I get all that. But she's got 4 times the responsibility. Trying to run 4 different directions. Do we want to try and compensate for each one of these offices?
I think they're supposed to. I think they're supposed to compound on top.
Yes,
I
but
think
she
the
gets
district
paid the
court
same
had-
as the treasurer.
District
and-
court, well, so in the past, I don't know what they do, but district court clerk has a salary. County clerk has a salary. Election official has a salary. All of those have a salary. So they should all have their set salaries.
But we
So
don't.
you pay your clerk X dollars as county clerk, and then
Plus.
their ex officio of whatever else, that should get added on top of that. Should you be paying your clerk less than your treasurer or the same? Probably. It's probably not fair to say that your clerk and district court clerk and election official make less or the same as your other electeds, because there's
Fully
more
agree,
offices.
fully agree with
If
that.
you want to set the clerk rate at the
I do
same,
Like,
completely.
this isn't fair.
It is not fair.
it's not, but that's I think what was done in the past was done to make it fair.
So the clerks sent out a mass email on the same exact subject, because every county's doing this right now. Most counties, they have, like the ex officios, they all get paid the same, most of them get paid the same as the treasurer, the assessor, even though they wear multiple hats, just like me. A lot of them, they just make the same as all the other officials. There is a statute, and I didn't know about this got brought up in this email, that election commissioners are supposed to make X amount more than the other officials per the population. So it's 100,000 residents is where the cutoff is. So if you're below 100,000, it's 6,700, and if you're above 100,000, it's like 7,500. That is a statute. I don't know in the past for here if they incorporated that in. I don't
They
know.
couldn't have, Katie, or you wouldn't be the same as the assessor and the treasurer.
That's just for the clerk's job.
That's one thing we need to really address, and I'm glad you brought it up, because with the extra hat she's wearing,
It's extra time.
it's extra time, it's extra effort, and we know, Katie, that you spend time in here when nobody else is here doing. I know that.
Well, when you come around to elections, she's here longer.
It's
than
time that we
anybody, and
recognize
more
that
responsibility.
it's time we recognize the contributions of the people we have, and we show them a little respect that we have a county attorney, and we have an individual that's willing to be our county attorney. We have a clerk. And let's make sure we can maintain a clerk. We have a sheriff. Let's make sure we can maintain a sheriff. And we have Kathy. Let's make sure.
Kathy?
You don't need me for anything, man.
Would you mind researching this for us, Katie? Like
Give us.
I
But
have more than one
give us some, like you did with the election.
But I don't care,
6,700 a year
you know.
should be on top of your clerks.
Well, it was with that, it was most were just trying to, they're bored. They were trying to figure out where everybody was gonna sit, if they follow this. The other thing that we have to think about, and I'm not educated enough, and I don't know how to find out the real answer, is with our budget, what are we gonna be allowed to increase pay because of that new cap?
That was my next.
It's where our,
We just gotta fit in.
So
we don't have to worry.
whether
about
we
those.
want to give a good raise, is it possible?
Well, we gotta make it fit in.
That's the other thing. I'm not gonna tell you what I think I'm worth, because I really don't know. I know I've put a lot of hours in, but so have our other officials, and I'm not gonna take anything away from them on that. I won't.
You're being a little too modest.
Well,
I mean, I know
And I
Kathy
appreciate
does
that, but what I'm
extra time, works
saying is-
overtime. I know, Casey does the same.
Katie does more.
Responsibility wise, you have got way more responsibility in your lap.
I do.
And it's time we recognize that and step up.
But I signed up for it.
But the
So,
election part.
Well, we would
she's
like you
here,
to sign up
that's
for it again, is what I'm saying.
really
So,
important.
Therefore,
I think we need to make it right.
I think we need to make this
So
work.
crunch the numbers in that area.
Not a problem.
Yeah. I think. Are we good on officials then? I mean, we'll sit down and each one of us put together some numbers.
The other
One of the things you have to realize too is that when you raise their salary, the deputy gets a good raise too.
That's my point.
Right,
So
right.
The
But
deputy.
right now, it's not really affecting that percentage because of their hourly wages. There's really,
yeah, they're making more than the 65%
yeah,
currently.
so.
Okay, so your
But I mean, like,
deputies,
year
you're off
after
it.
election.
Let's address that for a second. We've talked about road employees. We've talked about
What
elected
about
officials.
Chelsea? What does she fall into all this?
I was gonna bring up Chelsea. I was gonna bring up,
Chelsea hasn't had a raise in 2 years in the whole
Mhm.
department.
And she didn't get the cost of, I noticed on hers, let me pull that up.
so
This
what
is
is-
one we really.
She got
need
one
to
from the
look
sheriff.
at.
Which one
We need
from the
to-
health department?
this is no different than anybody else, right? So I mean, Taylor and everybody else, we need to make sure that they're with it. We do not want to be the low payer.
Well, we have
Minimum
some-
wage, like, that's not where we want to be. I don't think anybody here wants
So
that.
the road secretary now, she's part-time, sheriff, part-time road. Got the sheriff raise in January of 24,
Mhm.
but nothing on the roadside.
Nothing on the road
And you
side.
continue to move up the men, you
So
continue
do we-
to do the cost of living, and she never got it,
So
that
do
I
we
can,
put her
that
as,
I can see.
so do we put her on the roadside as operator one?
We can do that.
As first stage operator, because she doesn't hold a CDL.
But we need to classify her as part-time.
You would clap, okay. Oh, you could do that too. There you go. That's
And
the other
they're-
caveat. Yeah,
Yep.
okay.
And,
Yep.
and whatever your starting wage is gonna be for part-time.
That's
And
where
then
you,
she's
that's where
been
you
here at
go.
least 2 years at
She's been
least.
there 3 years.
Let's put her on the same
So,
scale.
yeah,
Let's put her on the
Yeah,
we
exact
need to
same
put her on a
scale.
part-time scale
Are
and
you good with the thoughts, Dawn?
She started March
She
of
worked
23.
36
She started
hours.
March
What'd she
of
work?
23. The same year
What's-
that we.
What Chelsea
started.
work? How many hours?
What's that?
she works, I got that right
How
here.
many hours does she work? How many hours does she
She
claim?
works for the
Yeah.
sheriff,
That's
70 hours
about-
over
that's about
without claiming
six-
them.
roughly 70 hours for each office a month, roughly. It varies because of time, but
And that's not all
roughly
that
70
she
for the sheriff and 70 for the road.
36 hours,
Yeah,
right? Is that?
she works.
It's usually 38 and a
about
half is
36
our normal full
A
time.
week.
Okay.
So you could, yeah, you could put her on the side.
You could put her on that same scale.
Because she's getting benefits.
Right. And
There's
she's,
nothing to say. So let's make sure that we land her onto it. Now, the next question.
hold on. The benefits,
Going
does
fast.
she do benefits? Sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, she takes her
Because she's
benefits out.
technically full-time.
Mhm.
I mean, technically, because you got two.
No, technically, she is full-time because of the two jobs.
Technically, she's full-time. You know what I'm saying?
107? Or
What do you mean?
how
Per
many
week,
hours do you say?
per
she
month.
She-
Per month, she averages about 140.
Okay, if you're full-time, it has to be 107.
170. She should be making more than that. So wouldn't it be, Katie? Wouldn't it be more like 170?
Well, I don't,
440 hours.
I've heard
I'm looking at it right here, right now. You both can look at it right here.
Yep.
but I don't
73.
think she.
One of these is for sheriff, one of them is for road.
I don't.
The 405 is
She
sheriff,
should
the
be, because I
305
mean, Holly's
is road.
like 176
All the way down
hours.
and see that the average
Taylor
for
and
sheriff is about
Ashley, so
70,
I would
the
think
average
she'd
for
be
road is
on the
about
same.
70.
Okay, pretty
Well,
close.
she doesn't
She's
come
20
in,
hours a month short of
at
full-time.
the same time that we.
That's
That,
true.
that has no bearing on anything. I'm just saying, she is not a full-time employee,
So,
but she's eligible for benefits and she's eligible for any rest that we choose to give.
Well, once we kick that in, we're probably, that will be.
My recommendation would be to move her over to operator one and let her get her on that same pay scale.
She's only part-time road.
But we're gonna take on the part-time scale, because we just discussed that we're gonna have a part-time salary that's gonna go onto that same scale for a part-time individual. So we will use the same It's not formatted today, but it will be formatted.
Right, which will,
Which will fix
Put it up
this,
where we-
which should fix this inequity as we move forward.
And the sheriff can raise her
That's sheriff's,
yeah,
compensation
he can
based
do whatever
on.
he wants
that's your
to.
business, it's not.
But expect that that's how it's gonna
It
happen.
boils down to your business, though. You can say yes or no on our budget.
Well, you guys have to keep track of your own budgets.
Yeah,
You have to keep
And
track
I'm
and
gonna say,
tell us
just
what you
because
need.
we budgeted it doesn't
Yeah.
mean that.
yeah,
we
as
have
long
to
as
spend
you approve it, we're good.
Providing it's there.
No,
So-
we've never asked for anything.
I'm just here to tell you.
Reasonable, so.
Mhm. Okay, so we
If you
can,
had to.
Well, I've got one more thought I want to add.
Good luck.
can you tell me, Ashley is your deputy for which offices?
Oh,
So she's deputy for clerk, she's deputy for district court, and she's deputy for register of deeds.
Mhm.
That right?
yep, 100%.
Okay, and is Polly your deputy?
Yes.
Sworn in deputy?
And Taylor's deputy too, and I think she passed her
And she's also got her
assessor's.
assessor license.
Yeah.
Taylor,
Yep, she just got it.
And Holly's your deputy?
yeah, she is. And she's working on her certification course. Everybody's doing something.
I'm just making sure we're gonna get everybody up to where they need to be. Taylor, what am I missing? Taylor is Casey's deputy.
Yeah.
And has her
Assessor license.
assessor. She got a raise for that
Would that scale
in here, but
be applicable for your deputies, for your,
We talked about that, didn't we, Katie?
We did,
is there something that you could formulate as a suggestion to bring back to the board as we make this decision? Is that something that you could?
well, I think at one time Ashley or Kathy and Casey and I, we all said that we could probably follow the same scale.
I understand, but
So-
I just want to make sure it's applicable, and if you had to tweak it so it is applicable for you.
The only thing, since they're deputies, we just have to make sure they make the
65%, understood.
That would be the only thing that would put, a damper on the scale, but I don't think it will affect it at all. I think
Could you, Kathy, and Casey run what that would look like and what that should look like for your people?
Sure.
That would be great. That would be
Just
some
kinda keep
great
them all-
information and keep everything just kind of,
Yeah, 'cause right now all our deputies are making the same amount. So
okay.
at this
Good.
point, which would be easier to put it on that scale, since they're all the same amount. So
this is
Monthly
2025.
salaries.
This is 2024.
All right, for 2025, is that,
That's the total thus far. I don't have November in there yet.
okay, you don't have one for
2024
where
with,
all the employees are, and officials are on there, so we get a total number of dollars. I mean, it wouldn't be all that.
you just do it though.
Because you just take that times.
Aren't you supposed to be
20%,
going to the party now, Don?
You'll know what they're doing.
Time for you.
It's time to go, Don, let's go.
I don't
Because
know. I
you're
don't
looking
even know.
at 44 cents.
I mean, it'd be easy enough to do. I would just combine all these.
I'd be suspect that you could.
But my point is I want to go as much as we absolutely can because we have a,
But you're gonna be back at 44 cents.
And if we add a salary for election commissioner
Should've been
and
that
district
beginning.
court register of deeds, we also have to make sure that Ashley's
Sorry, that's my.
follows those new salaries, is that right?
Yes, you did. Wow.
I got a
Lot of
massive
money.
headache.
okay,
We're rich.
Anything else you guys wanted to see on here?
nope, I'm good.
Yes,
Well, we could just give the
Oh.
commissioners the 22% was not anything.
Oh, and that would never happen.
That'd work well.
No, I would never do, I would take zero before I would.
Yeah,
cut our
good.
other-
Is John Munn is he the lead?
Don needs to go to the party. Go, Don, go.
Who's the part-time road guy? Who's the part-time road
John.
guy?
Well, there you go.
We have to look at those as well because
That,
they're,
that's all part of it. That's exactly what we were
they're
saying.
not up to that part-time.
Nope.
thing, and I know they're part-time seasonal, but I feel like if they're part-time seasonal and they've been here for 3 years, they should be making more than your new part-time seasonals.
That's because where they quit and go out seasonally, they come back in and it's like a rehire. Year one, every time. So that's per our handbook. Now, if we want to change that in the handbook, that's something else that
Aren't they worth more? I mean, I know they leave for 6 months or whatever. You know, yeah, things can change and
Well, I
I
think
get it,
Eric's
but.
put some of those on their, seasonal.
He's changed the
He's
terminology
changed that to get them.
to get them to where they're not starting from bump every time, I think, but
Mhm.
yeah, we need to.
If you want to attract those part-time people, you have to figure that out.
Mhm. Right.
Good.
Okay,
You good?
guys got homework to do?
We got a lot. We can give Santa Claus bring it.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I don't even know where my agenda is. Close it up.
We paid bills,
We did?
heard from everybody,
We did get a vote.
talked it all over.
We did.
I have it written down.
Caleb, we voted on your memorandum, right?
Yes.
And we don't need to vote on anything, on wages and salaries, right? Because we didn't do anything yet. Good?
Good.
And we voted on Caleb. Yes. Okay. Because I don't have that down. It's here.
Yeah. All right, are you guys good if I adjourn?
I am.
Anything else?
No.
Meeting adjourned 12:03. Okay. Safe
So
drive
I'm
to
gonna
party.
cut that.
Thought it was gonna be longer. Are you going down the party too?
Yes, he's thrilled about it.
Love it.
I think, do they?